Welcome back, everyone, to a wonderful new evening of mischief and vampires. As we turn our attention back into the situation at hand, Crescent, the fire erupts straight in front of you, inches from your face. I need you to go ahead and make a terror check as this bright, hot flame is inches from you. You can smell burnt hair as you rear back in shock.
I know we kind of touched on this before, but could I use rapid reflexes or fleetness?
You can, but first we need to check for terror, and that's what your roll.
Oh dear, that's not a lot.
That's not a lot for you, unfortunately.
Dice don't fail now. Oh, you failed. Oh, wait. Never mind, the other 3 succeeded. 3.
You have 3 successes.
Yes.
Good, that's just what you need. As you're able to rapid reflex, take a few steps back, kind of patting out the sides of your hair as a little bit of smoke is coming off you, as that furniture, dried and rotted, immediately comes to light. You can hear voices, Let's get the fuck out! Let's get the fuck out of here! You did hear the name Snowman, so you could probably make the assumption your previous pursuers, or the reason of this, sound like they were making a hasty retreat of some kind. But now you have this current problem, this massive blaze is erupting in front of you. The wooden walls and roof above you is already starting to catch, as it appears that this is a much older section of the building that had been built upon top of. What do you want to do?
I'm immediately turning around and booking it back to them and going, guys, we might have a problem. Bright problem.
As Amelie Crescent, you hear her footsteps coming louder and louder and louder. Coming around the corner eventually, you can see smoke singeing off the sides of her curled hair. Grayson and Acer, you can smell gasoline, and black smoke is already beginning to funnel its way down the hallway right behind Crescent.
Hey guys! So, we might have... Yeah.
Great. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to reach for my phone, and I'm immediately going to try and call my sire.
Okay. You pull up the phone.
Sierra, can you step over here? Sierra? Just for a second.
Sierra is going to... Amelia goes, yeah, okay.
I'm just going to hold out my hand.
She does take your hand. You pull out your phone. You do see... So we got about 1 bar of signal.
It's... I still am going to try. It's right. Something.
You dial the number. Let's see if it gets through. Okay. Grayson! Yeah, great, Grayson.
Fire Club. And I'm just going to repeat that until he, Fire Club Basement. And I'm going to repeat that until he confirms, Fire Basement Club.
You're coming in, wait, Fire? Club?
Basement Club.
Fire, oh god, damn it. Okay, try and stay safe. We'll see what we can do.
Okay. I'm gonna hang my phone and I'm gonna look to Crescent. I need a bowl. Anything. Cylindrical. I find it. If there's something in here, I'm gonna start looking around for one.
Okay. I'll start looking around as well.
Okay,
Does the fire make it easier to see down here?
The fire makes it harder, as unfortunately the light is not coming through this area this far in, but the smoke is definitely filling up this space as well. So vision is definitely impaired. At this point, what we're going to be doing here is time is of the essence. Right now we're in a bit of a freestanding mode, but eventually we're going to be getting into a 3-challenge attempt. But for now, this is a preparation. So, Acer and Crescent, you guys are looking for a container of some kind, large enough to be about the size of a bowl. Or sorry, Crescent and Grayson.
Yeah, yes. There you go.
Grayson, go ahead and give me a wits plus investigation. Crescent, you can add 1 die to his roll, since you're helping him.
Yep.
Acer, what are you doing at this moment?
Shit, I don't know what's around me. So I'm just going to take a general look. I want to know
what's around you basically at this moment. Is a very smaller room. Maybe just roughly with your intelligence, because you have a high intelligence, you can guess maybe about 15 feet by 20 feet. It's a square room with 1 exit way. It kind of curves around by a sharp corner into a series of winding hallways that you guys come through that has various left and rights that don't really branch off into other directions. You know that where you guys came from was the only way into this area. There is another room closer towards the exit that you saw where there were a bunch of freezers, chains, as well as a tiled floor. However, you would have to go deeper into the smoke to try and find it. And vision is already becoming a problem.
And you made a point that saying while we were walking in here there was a lot of squelching. Can I try and investigate and see what exactly that is on the floor?
Go ahead for this. Go ahead and make an intelligence plus academics.
Okay.
How are you trying to investigate? Because that will depend. Because seeing is becoming a problem.
I'm getting really down close to the ground, giving it a little smell, like feeling it between my hands, like everything I can to try to identify what the heck this is. If I have to, I'll give it a little taste on my tongue. I don't care, right?
Okay. For this, go ahead and give me an intelligence plus academics. And funny enough, go ahead and add your 1 die of blood sorcery to this.
Interesting. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that plus academics, another 2. 3.
It is blood. It is stale. It is old, very congealed human blood. There's no residence. It is too old to have a residence. But it is squelchy, mostly congealed sections of blood.
How flooded are the floors with this blood?
Not very flooded. It's like walking into a movie theater after a children's show. It is sticky. It is definitely coating the floor, but it's not flooding.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. I need time to...
I'll let you think on that. Crescent and Grayson, what you guys got?
I got 2 successes for me.
2 successes. It's very dark down here. It's very, very dense in fog. You're finding a lot of things. Can you probably get a little bit more success out of this?
Did you already add my die to it?
What die?
She's helping you. She gave you an extra die.
I'm sorry. I didn't roll that die. Pardon me.
Yeah.
That was only... Nope. That was a blank die, so only 2.
Why exactly are we with Super Bowl?
As I'm padding around, I hear you say this. I may have something to help us a little bit in case it gets to us versus that out there.
The fire?
Yes.
How is a bowl gonna help? Right, Tremere stuff. Got it. Okay.
Yes, correct. Thank you.
Got it. Just gonna keep looking for a bowl, I guess.
I'm gonna turn back to Acer. Okay. Acer, did you see any other ways out of here? Maybe further down the hall or anything like that?
Nope, 1 way in, 1 way out, and unfortunately, that was our way in and out. And as I'm saying that, you said there was a freezer, right?
There was another room through the hallways, maybe about 3 quarters back from where you came from, near the entrance where this fire might be starting to brew hotter. But there was another room in there with large open walk-in freezers, marble floor, tiled floor. There seemed to be chains and hooks hanging off the ceiling. You didn't get a very good look as you guys passed by it, but there was another room.
Okay, with that, I'm going to be like, all right, I remember a room, might have been a walk-in freezer. Everyone go there, like, right now. Come on. And I'm going to start walking towards the room.
I'll turn to Chris and if we can get further away from this thing that may buy us some time, we can keep looking along the way.
Yeah, but he's asking us to get closer.
Yep, we're getting closer. Let's go.
Closer to the fire or closer?
Closer to the fire.
Closer to the fire. We're going closer to the fire, gents. And ladies.
I'm in a rouse.
Make a rouse check.
I do succeed.
Good. Your hunger is not increased. You may add another additional die to your wits.
Yes.
Okay, that was a success.
3 successes. Taking a moment to breathe, to try and just relax your shoulders. This is a stressful situation, but you're Tremere. Focus is key. Focus between you and Crescent as Acer is gearing up Sierra to kind of help her get closer into that hallway. You both kind of look around, scrounge as best you can. She's listening to your orders before your hands both clasp onto something at the same time. It's hard to make out, but you pull it in closer. It appears to be a large ornamental candy dish of some kind. Very dirty on the inside, very dusty, but it's large. It's made of glass.
It is a bowl
Is the bowl gonna work?
It'll have to do.
Reassuring.
I'm going to take that bowl with me, and now that I found it, I'm going to walk towards the door following Acer.
And I'll just keep a protective front in front of Sierra.
Okay. So, you guys begin to move your way through the hallway. Acer, you taking point?
Yeah, if I'm the one who has the layout, then yeah, I'm gonna
You're the one who started leaving first.
Yep.
All right.
So make it a point for everybody, like, stay low.
Luckily, you are all kindred. Smoke inhalation is not really a problem. However, it is dark down here in this musty cellar, and the smoke is just billowing now, coming down that hallway. You are all having to find your way by just kind of feeling on the walls, staying low, and navigating your way through. Acer, you do remember the layout. However, there's a lot of debris. There's a lot of things everywhere within this very cramped space, and you're trying your best not to get turned around as these hallways do intersect. It is almost a labyrinth down here, and the only reason why you didn't have to figure it out beforehand is because Sierra was crying, and it gave you a way to navigate easily to find her. However, now that you're plunged into the smoke and darkness, I need you to go ahead and make an intelligence plus awareness roll to see if you remember your steps to get back towards that area without getting lost.
3, 4.
4 successes will do it. You guys walk. The smoke is getting thicker and thicker and immortal now. We start to be worried about smoke inhalation, but you were kindred, as I said before. Things go fine. Following Acer behind the lead, you can now begin to hear the unnerving sound of wood splintering and crackling as you can now begin to feel this area getting much hotter. Before long, Acer, you peek around a corner and see bright orange light. As you can see the room not too far away, but fire is already coming in and licking towards that threshold. And it is a torrent of fire. You turn around the corner, and immediately you feel that fear come right up your spine. You may not fear the daylight, but fire is something you definitely still fear. You look around that corner, you immediately pull yourself back as the heat just kind of hits you on the side of the face. You can almost feel some of the hair on your side of the face singe from the intense blaze that started to come down this hallway very quickly. The threshold is not too far away, but the fire is also very close to it. What do you want to do?
Okay. I know that if this freezer is a walk-in freezer, like in most places, if it's big and industrial, that means the door opens outward. So I could possibly use that as kind of like a protection thing if I can get to it, and to try and coax the others in there. So I'm going to head for the door.
I will warn you. You're trying to dive into a room with fire that close by. And are you communicating anything to your companions?
The fire has not engulfed that place yet, but it is close to that.
It is close to the threshold of that room. The doorway itself is not on fire, but the fire is maybe a foot away, and it is coming in quickly. If you guys get in that room, you know with your intelligence, you better think of something quick, because getting out might be a problem.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn to them and I'm going to be like, look, there might be an industrial freezer over there. If that is the case, we can all hide it there. Yes, the fire's going to go through everything, but with the freezer, it's going to be cold. The fire's not going to be able to get it. At the very least, not all at once. It can give us enough time to do whatever the hell is that Grayson's trying to do.
And you're sure about this? Because you're asking us to go into a box in the middle of a flaming room.
Yes, a box that constantly spews out cold air.
Could work.
It's not a for sure thing because, the fire will probably engulf this entire place, but we'll be in a box that's cold.
There's no good way out of this, so let's go into the box of death, or undeath, or re-death,
all right,
whatever.
Okay, I'll run forward. I'll open the door. As soon as I open it, you guys run it.
You guys are going to brave the fire to try and get into that room.
Correctamundo.
Okay. This is going to be very difficult for each of you. The bright light that's flooding down this hallway is intense. Even from this distance around this corner, maybe about 10 feet away from this blaze, you are all feeling the heat now substantially rise within this space. It is uncomfortable. It is unnerving. And Acer, as you peek around the corner, you can feel yourself begin to shake. If you're going to commit to this, you're going to need to make a terror check.
One terror check coming in.
All right. Unspent willpower, half your humanity rounded down.
Okay. 5.
5 successes. Easy
I got
enough.
a crit, baby.
You steel yourself and you see that blaze. You feel like you're quick enough. All right, you're going to try and make that dash. It is dangerous. You have the will to do it. Go ahead for this. This is a challenge. Go ahead and give me a dexterity plus athletics to see if you can be fast enough and nimble enough not to burn yourself in the process.
2 success.
2 successes.
I cannot get any higher than that.
Acer.
Well, I can, but it'd be bad.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and go down everyone's challenge line so that way we save time, and then I'll narrate what happened. So who's next in the marching order?
Honestly, I would say Crescent and our delegate.
All right, Crescent, do you agree with this?
I will agree to this, and I'll try and be between her and the flames as much as I can stand.
Fair enough. As Acer gets back, you're going to be right high on his heels. This is going to be all happening at once, so you're going to be next in line. Terror Frenzy. For you, it's 4 dice.
Would you stop, Acer?
Okay.
Not the time! That's 3 successes.
3 successes. All right. Go ahead and make a dexterity plus athletics.
3 success.
3
Again.
success. Perfect.
Yep.
Alrighty. I'll go ahead and roll for Sierra. Luckily, she has not been very heavily in combat, so she's a decent amount of dice to roll for this. All right. Great, so you see in front of you, Sierra, Crescent, and Acer all get low and ready to move. Terror check for you as well, sir.
Roger that.
Unspent willpower, humanity half, rounded down.
And also 3 successes.
Beautiful. All right, dexterity and athletics, please. Don't forget your hunger die.
Agreed. I will definitely rouse because I am not very dexterous.
I can't rouse.
I am successful.
The luck stays on your side. The dictator is just enjoying the show.
We'll enjoy it for as long as it needs to be, I suppose.
He has an incentive to bet on you.
Okay, I needed that. It was 1 blank, but a critical, so 4.
4 successes. Beautiful. So, this is what happens. You all get low, time yourselves, steel your nerves, and Acer, Crescent, Sierra, Grayson, right after another, dive straight into the hallway, run straight towards that blaze. As that bright light gets hotter and hotter and hotter and brighter, Acer suddenly dodges straight to the left. Crescent dives after Sierra, tumbles forward. Grayson slides straight down, almost basement slide. Just as immediately as the flames lick over you, you can feel that heat inches from you as you just slide close to the ground, avoiding as much of the flame as possible. You all succeeded through unscathed. Acer, just barely. Looking around Acer, this room is heavily filled with smoke. It is almost like a black fog in here, but kind of feeling your way around, you do get the sense like this is the freezer room that you saw. You're bumping into some change, you get snagged on a hook a little bit, but you do come and you do feel cold metal wall. This is not a freezer, as in like an open freezer in this room. There are walk-in, large freezing units. There's a door in front of you. You can feel seams of a very large door in a latch.
Oh, good. Okay, in that case, I'm going to open it up, and then I'm going to be like everyone in.
Open.
And we have a problem. Grayson, I need your expert lockpicking skills right now.
It's not quite locked. So be it. I'm going to go over to I'm going to feel over to the door, follow Acer's voice, and get a hand on the door.
I'm gonna grab his hand and kind of just put it on the handle where mine is, and I'm gonna be like, all right, I need you to very carefully, very finessely rip this motherfucking handle off. Questions later. Rip now.
You feel around, and it's definitely a large walk-in freezer type handle, a very large bulky hand you could pull that would normally open it. But as you feel around, you feel a bit of metal clicking against the metal itself, and you feel a very heavy-duty padlock, which is what's stopping this handle from being opened.
Aha! I need not break the door. I need only to break the mechanism holding the door. And that is much easier.
Whatever floats your boat, just open the door.
And I'm going to lift up my sleeve, and if I hand on that lock, I'm going to nick my wrist. I'm going to corrosive vitae that padlock.
Let me go ahead and double check something real quick. It is a rouse check, so go ahead and make a rouse check.
Bye. Never needed a success. It needs to be now. Yes.
All right. You do not get hungry as you open your vein wide and begin pouring your acid blood onto this lock. You begin to hear that sound of as the sounds of corrosive vitae begin to eat away the metal. It will take some time, and it may take an additional check to do so, as acid only burns so fast. But for now, you are working on this lock. Crescent, what are you doing in the meantime as Sierra is just clutching your backside, just trying to move away from the fire as much as she can?
As much as it is, I'm probably be fighting against my own frenzy. I'm trying to keep between her and the fire and just press up against, away from it as far away as I can go with being close enough distance so when he gets that door open, I can just go in.
Okay, so you're just trying to protect her. You're not doing anything at this time.
I will look around the room.
Go ahead and make a wits plus awareness.
Let's look for plan B.
Since you're using your eyes with this, it's a minus 2 dice penalty, but what's an awareness?
All right. Well, I think my awareness is pretty high, so my wits is a 3. Holy crap.
I mean, you are a sharp shot for a reason.
Yeah. No, I got that. So that's 6 dice minus 2. Crit. That is 4 successes.
4 successes.
Great.
So,
Yeah.
you relax. You can already feel, if you could sweat, you would be, as this room is getting hotter by the minute. But you're looking around, you're kind of feeling around the fog, not staying too far away from Sierra. There's not much in the way of in this room. It's fairly empty. You get the sense that this was some kind of storage room. Probably, if you're thinking kindred, probably for bodies. However, as you're kind of feeling around, you do feel the multiple freezers. One Crayson's working on, that you feel grooves. You feel separate freezers. This isn't built into the wall. These are freezing units, and you kind of give one a wiggle. They're on wheels. You might be able to move them.
Grayson, I think these are portable things. Like they're on wheels.
Great. What's in them?
I don't know, probably bodies.
As she says that, I'm gonna feel for one that Grayson isn't working on, and I'm just gonna give it a little tug to see if it moves towards me.
Ever so slightly. They're very heavy. Probably still filled with something. But these are movable.
Oh! Good job, Crescent. Help me move this one to the doorway over there. Give us some cover.
Okay. Great. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna help Acer with whatever one he's talking about.
Okay, this freezer is very heavy. Who is taking charge of the role and who is assisting?
I am a noodle arm, so I'll let you take charge and I will assist you.
All right, Crescent, strength plus athletics, add 1 die as Acer is assisting you.
Yes. 2. I'm gonna do willpower.
You may burn a willpower. You take that point of superficial willpower damage.
Worth it. Okay, 3 success.
3 successes.
Worth it.
This is a very heavy freezer, and you don't have potence.
I'm an idiot.
You can succeed at a cost.
Can I possibly rouse blood?
I will allow
Or
it.
that doesn't...
I will allow it. Typically, going forward, rousing the blood is before you know the results, but in this emergency situation, I will allow it.
I know, I forgot about that. That's on me. Nope, doesn't matter. Okay.
So you can succeed at a cost if you want. The cost is you and Acer have to get pretty damn close to the fire to get the leverage you need to move this. First of all, I'm going to ask, where are you guys moving this freezer to?
I'm assuming the doorway.
Yeah, the open doorway. We're just moving it
Okay,
kind of.
that's what I thought. I just had to confirm. That's had to confirm. Crescent, you're going to be getting pretty fucking close to this fire. You're going to get hurt. You don't know how badly, but you know to get the leverage to move this door and quickly, you're going to get hurt.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
You're going to take the damage, do it quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So you both heave as hard as you can. You feel your muscles strain at the bulk of this freezer. It squeaks against the ground as you Finally, with one massive last heave, Crescent, you feel yourselves just not getting much headway before you just dig your heels in, throw your whole shoulder in it, and rocket this thing against the actual frame of the doorway. But as you do, a piece of burning lumber kind of falls down and way across the side of your shoulder. You rear back and hiss in pain as you feel your entire shoulder engulf in flame. You quickly begin to pat off the flame as you take a point of aggravated damage from the fire. You have a nice hearty burn mark on the side of your shoulder now. Now, the freezer's up against the threshold. There's still fire starting to leak out the sides of it, but for now, this freezer is at least blocking this entryway to give you guys a bit more time. Moving back over to you, you can look closely as you're seeing that this rouse worth of blood kind of coming through you. Peering closer, the lock is heavily pockmarked and damaged, but it's still holding firm. It's not quite eaten through yet, but it's significantly weakened. You could try and use more to get through it in the time that's going on here, or it's up to you and how you want to do this. But it is definitely weakened. It is doing something. It just takes time. Acid can only eat through steel so fast.
Is it brittle enough that maybe I could snap it off if I do, like, it's right leverage, if I twist it?
You could try. You could certainly try.
If my acid is still working, I'm going to use it in tandem. I'm just going to start wrenching it back and forth, kind of like letting the acid get into the grooves a little bit more so I could snap it off.
Okay, so you're going to try and break the lock off now.
Yes.
All right, go ahead and make a strength plus brawl in this case, as you're just trying to brute force this lock by just twisting and breaking it off.
4 successes.
4 successes is a lot of successes. You dig in there, you grip your hands into it, you stick your stance in. You feel the actual hinge of that lock snap into pieces.
I kind of I brush the metal bits off of my hand. One door, and I grab it and I try to pull the handle.
It opens.
Yeah. Yes, everyone, door open. Come in.
You open the door and you can see there might be enough space for 3 people in this freezer. As you can see that there are bodies stuffed up on meat hooks, dead and not moving. Immediately the blood hits your senses. You're at how much hunger, Grayson?
I'm at hunger 3.
I need you to go ahead and make a hunger check for me. Unspent willpower, half humanity down.
Okay, so that's 5. Okay. It's 2 successes, but there's a skull.
That's okay. 2 successes is enough. It's not fresh blood. It is dead corpses, but you can smell the blood. It tempts you. It's not the time for this right now. But there are about 3 bodies kind of hooked on hooks in here. They're taking up a lot of the space, and you get the sense that if you fit in now, maybe 3 people could fit in here tightly.
I have a room, but it's a little crowded. We could maybe try and get these others out of here. They wouldn't mind.
Crescent, you veer off some of the burning, you look around and see Grayson has opened the freezer, even through the smoke, but immediately you can smell some of that blood and see that this freezer is occupied.
Alright, well, if only a few of us can fit in, then a few of us go in, and then maybe we can try on another freezer.
Yeah.
Is there another freezer around?
Ambassador first, come on.
There is one more freezer against the wall, and there is 1 freezer against the threshold, so there is another freezer.
I'm immediately guiding Sierra in.
She kind of reaches blindly for you, like, what about you? What about you? As you guys start shoving her.
No. Later. Now, you.
Okay. As you kind of like start shoving her in, and she, oh God. You hear some of the squelching as she kind of pushes past some of the bodies.
Hey, sir, you want to go in?
Actually, no. You're next. Go.
Why?
Because you got a burn on your shoulder. We got to put some ice on that, like, right now. Plus, let's be honest, you're the only one that keeps her calm. Get in there.
Okay, fine. I'm going in. You guys decide. I'm not dealing with this right now.
Okay, you slip into the freezer, and luckily the power is still on. It is refreshingly cool. It does help with the pain of that burn on your shoulder, but you can already feel as you kind of flex your shoulder, some of the flesh kind of flaking off and turning to ash. This is definitely a deep burn. It's going to take some rest to try to fix this. Shove some of the bodies aside. They kind of rest up against you. You can feel your dress now stained with frozen slime and gore as you kind of nestle in close to Sierra as she has her back pressed against this wall. It's about maybe shoulder width wide, so it's not much. It's room to turn, but there's not a lot of room to move about, but you have to manage to slide yourself in there. The room now is getting hotter as fire is now licking along the walls of this room around the freezer. You guys have essentially created a safe space, but it's not going to hold for very much longer.
Okay, I'm going to look at Grayson and I'm going to be like, how quickly do you think you can get that other one open?
It depends. If it's like this, probably around the same amount of time, which if we move quickly, we may have.
All right, so I'm going to close the door, but not all the way. I'm going to leave it cracked open. And I'm going to be like, all right, start working on that one.
I will look to and try to feel around for the other one.
It is not hard. As you guys manage to kind of feel around the room, but now this room is completely engulfed in smoke. You cannot see at all. But so you feel as best you can. And luckily, you did get a lay of this room before you came in here. And you do feel the other freezer. It takes you a moment. You feel that another padlock. You feel a handle. You found it.
And turn to Acer. How bad is the fire?
Very bad. Pretty sure it's going to come in here very quickly. If we don't get that thing open, we will be the next kindling.
Acer, go ahead. Just make a straight intelligence roll. Just roll 4 dice.
1. So, yeah, 1 success.
You don't have an exact time frame, but you don't have as long as you've been in this room. Time is running out fast.
I left my wrists a little bit open, so I'm kind of opening it up a little bit, and I'm going to start working on this other lock with my Vitae.
Okay, go ahead and make another rouse check to try and burn more of that acid out. More success.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get as close to Grayson as possible, just to, if he needs help, I can. The reason I'm doing that is if we run out of time and that fire hits, I'm going to open the door, grab Grayson, and shove him in the first freezer and then close the door quickly.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Alrighty, but Grayson, you slice a bit deeper and begin to push that Vitae out once again, and you feel those drips coming out. It's beginning to make its work on the lock and begins to eat through the metal. However, you did notice it took time with the other lock. You're not sure how much time you have to let this one just sit, so how long are you willing to risk?
When I see pitting where there are holes, I see imperfections, and when I know the imperfections are there, I know it's getting.
Okay.
And I know that's the time I need to bend it.
Okay, so you cannot see, so you are feeling for any type of jagged metal imperfection of any kind.
I want to look to Acer. Acer, do me a favor. See if there's a pipe or something I can wedge in with a little bit extra. I may be able to pop this off early.
It's going to be a wits plus investigation, minus 2 dice.
That is 3 success.
3 successes. That's very good. You feel around the room. You flap your shirt a bit, trying to get your best to make some kind of vision room, but you give up on it real quick and put your shirt back on. It doesn't help. You begin feeling around the room, feel around the floor, you feel on the walls, you're not finding much. You're feeling chain, your hands brushing against something, and you feel on the ground there's a small crate of some kind. You open it, start digging your hands in, and you feel sharp metal. You feel around, you're feeling a lot of grafting meat hooks, the kind of hooks you'd use to stick into livestock carcasses to hang them up on hooks, but very large hook pieces of metal.
Actually, that'll work perfectly. I'm going to grab one of the hooks.
Easy enough. You have one. You now have a grafting hook.
All right, and then I'm going to walk over to Grace and I'm going to just be like, here, this ought to help. Just use it like a hammer trying to pull out a nail.
It's something. I'll grab that and I'll put it in between like the bar on the padlock if I can.
Okay, so that fire is still growing. This is a simple motion, but I'm going to need both of you guys to make another round of terror checks to see if you can maintain focus. So, unspent willpower, humanity rounded down. Because now that entire side of the wall, even with the smoke, is now brightly lit with a blaze. That wall is on fire, and this fire is coming in.
It's close to 3.
3 successes.
5.
5 successes. Grayson, you barely pass. You both now, Acer, you pass just fine. But you feel that heat coming against that wall now, and you're starting to feel your hands shake, but you got focus. There's only one out of this. You feel around, you're starting to feel a little bit of pitting. It might need a bit more time to get what you're looking for, but it is a little weakened. You can wait longer and risk it, or you can try now.
I am going to try now.
Okay, I will say for this, the difficulty is a little lower. It's not as low as the other one, but I will give you an additional die because you have a tool for this. So strength plus brawl plus 1.
Brawl plus 1. 4 successes.
4 successes. Brilliant. You plant your feet in, and just as that heat begins to flare over your backside, you dip down low and just twist with all your might. You shake it in. You feel the lock just break in half, not shattering like the pitted one beforehand, but you do feel it give away underneath your strength.
I'm going to take that lock, I toss it, and I throw open that door.
This locker is also full, but there's space. The cold air
Acer.
rushing against you.
Acer, here, now.
And then I'm going to close the door to the first one to make sure it's sealed and fire can't get in. And
You hear
then
a
I'm
loud
gonna-
chunk. Crescent and Sierra, you are plunged into full darkness.
I'm just gonna instinctively, just because we established I still had the gun, so I'm just gonna instinctively, just as like a comfort, just put my hand on that.
You got it. Just have it drawn and ready, just in case.
I'm not gonna have it drawn, but I'm definitely gonna have my hand like on it, just in case.
I will be aware of this. But Grayson and Acer, the door is open.
Yep, jumping in
I'm
with
going
Grayson.
in.
All right, you both kind of clamber your way inside. Acer, do you close the door behind you?
Before I close it, can I give a quick feel up and down the door to see if there's a latch on the inside?
There is not. Once you close this door, you don't know what's going to happen.
All right, I'm gonna turn to Grayson. I'm gonna be like, "You still have that hook?"
Of course.
I'm gonna grab it. I'm going to jam it against the. I'm gonna put it like at the corner of the door so it doesn't close all the way.
I'm warning you. This box will not be safe if you keep it open.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be safe if we keep it closed either.
As I see him trying to block the door, I look to him. Acer, this is. I don't think we can budge on this one. This is. Can't come back from that out there.
This thing doesn't have a latch on the inside, which means if we want to get out to let the others out, we have to keep this at least semi-cracked. We could try and use the bodies and force them up against the wall to try and keep the air in as much as possible. But we currently have one fridge against the doorway, one fridge that's locked with both of them inside, and we're in here.
And
They think that this right here is full of dead bodies. It could be a while before they open this fucker up again.
yes, but I did tell my sire where we are. They will look for us. They know. They will come down. First thing they will do is come down here.
And you're sure that they'll open this thing up to check?
Acer, I only ask that for you to trust me as I have put my trust in my sire. That is all. I don't like it very much either, but I also like being not ashes.
Oh, for the love of God. And I just closed the door.
You both are plunged into darkness.
Acer, I'm not going to hold your hand.
You touch me and I will tase you.
You have a taser?
Not on me currently, but I'll remember that you do and then I'll tase you later.
I'm just going to point it out right now. If it does, it's accidental.
So this isn't you on my shoulder right now?
No, I don't think.
Okay, well, this dead body's trying to cop a feel and I'm not okay with it.
Don't touch them.
They're touching me!
They're dead. They don't have much of a choice.
That's not stopping us. We're dead.
It's an interesting conundrum. I can talk to you about that, actually.
No.
I'm gonna start
Where's
rambling.
the fire? I want the fire.
The door is sealed and your fate has been made as Grayson starts going on about this very philosophical discussion. But you all wait in the darkness. Crescent, in this moment, what do you do? As you can feel Sierra shaking behind you. You could faintly, just faintly, hear the sounds of cracking and breaking wood from the outside.
I'm gonna press her as far back as I can and just, it's gonna be fine. We're in here. Dark is nice, remember?
Dark is good. Dark is nice.
Exactly. And Grayson called us sire. We're not gonna be stuck here forever.
At least we have till the end of time. I mean, even if we starve to death, we'll just stop moving until somebody happens. Maybe one of these bodies will just decompose into our mouths. As you can feel the temperature, even within this freezer, rising a little bit. Not dangerously so.
I really hope Acer was right. Oh, God.
It's cold, but not as freezing as it was. And as you got to feel some of that temperature shift, you can feel some of the slime and the gore in front of you kind of leaking onto you. Your boots and heels kind of stick against this cold, wet metal surface with every little movement you make, you feel yourself rub against some type of strange bodily fluid. The smell is horrid. With your higher blood potency, it is even more acute, as you may have a very particular feeding preference, but the only thing worse than live human is dead human.
I'm just imagining that I'm in a shower right now. Everything's fine.
That doesn't help.
Smell like ilk.
That doesn't help. This is the worst shower possible.
It's helping me.
It doesn't help me.
Okay, well, what do you want me to do?
She just slowly takes your hand. If we get out of this, I owe you and your friends a lot.
You don't owe us anything.
No, I do. This just became way more complicated than I intended to be.
You were trying to bring the entire clan into Camarilla. It's probably going to be complicated no matter how you swing that.
I mean, I expected opposition, but I didn't expect it to be this intense.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I expected the worst thing at the deal was a very, very upset prince and maybe some people that I may have to puff my chest out a bit, so to speak. I didn't expect to nearly be firebombed.
Yeah, obviously some people have some very strong feelings.
Who do you think even did this? And why?
I don't know. With the whole bus incident, I heard Snowman. And then I just heard it again. So whoever's behind this is connected to that guy.
How smart do you think Acer is?
Honestly, pretty smart. Why?
I'm weighing my odds whether we're going to even make it through this or not. And that I just want a bit of comfort in thinking that maybe your closet man is really smart.
Closet man is very smart. He's got nothing better to do but to look up information. He would know about things like this. Besides, I don't know that much about freezers, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
If this is going to be my final moments, and if you repeat this, I'll deny it, because in my logical state of mind, I don't know you that well yet. But if I'm going to burn to death with somebody, I'm happy at least it's with a clan member that gave a shit.
Honestly, same.
Thanks for not leaving me behind.
Never.
You just feel her nod as she just kind of leans against you ever so slightly, resting her head on your shoulder, just gripping your hand very tightly.
Ow, careful.
Sorry. The darkness drags on, at least for these two, as Acer is constantly bombarded by this very philosophical debate of the dead mingling amongst the dead.
As he just continues talking, I'm just going to slam my head against the door.
I'm merely suggesting, like in the movies, it sounds like when they say the living dead. Is that not so strange to say? Two opposites used in the same sentence like that.
No, yeah, very strange.
You accidentally hit your head into something soft and squelchy as you begin to feel fluid run down the front of your face. As that last one we hit out. And with that, the darkness carries on. You all feel the temperature rise in tiny, tiny portions. It's not dramatic. It's definitely much cooler than it was out there. And you will just silently pray to whatever faith any of you still carry that this freezer holds. Every now and then you hear, you feel the freezer itself rattle as something falls on top of it. Wood, debris, the building? You have no way of knowing. All the while, you can hear the sounds of bending and breaking wood faintly through the insulation of this freezer. Temperature is still cold, however. Not as cold as when you first opened it. But you're not being cooked alive, at least at this juncture. None of you know how much time passes. Could be minutes, could be hours. It's very, very hard to say what time is like in the dark, locked in a box. In between Grayson is talking, that's when you notice the fan has already stopped.
Crap.
What? What is it?
The fan stopped, which probably means the fire ate through the cords. Luckily, freezers are insulated, so we're not going to cook alive immediately, but it's probably going to get gradually hotter, and I'd say if the fire continues roaring around us, we maybe have like 20 minutes before it gets to a point where the heat becomes unbearable.
Can I check my phone to see how long it's been?
You reach and just kind of move yourself around. You almost drop it a little bit, but you manage to get up, and then you feel yourself brush against more of that ick and gore. You feel this suit is ruined. You can feel wet patches beginning to bleed through along your back, along your shoulders, along your sides of your wrists and arms, and your pant legs, and you have to shift and shovel yourself. And you can already smell the gore seeping into the fabric. Why is it every time you walk outside of the facility, your clothes just seem to get ruined?
I need to invest in... Maybe I should think about a cleaning service.
Take a look. The screen lights up this entire inside of the freezer, and you look up to see a corpse inches from your face, just slack-jawed, looking straight at you. Not moving. Definitely dead.
Are the eyes open?
Yes. One eye's kind of slacked off and lays to one side. One's making eye contact with you. The jaw frozen agape, still open. Tongue just lolling out in dark and black.
I'm going to very carefully close his eyes. Pass my hand over.
A little crunchy still.
Apologies.
You take a look at your phone. From where you last called Birchall, it's been about maybe 25 minutes.
I'm 25 minutes in here.
Cool, so we got another 40 before we become turkey dinners.
It would appear so if your knowledge holds up.
Well, luckily industrial ones are pretty thick, so slams on one of the walls. I think
it's still cold, luckily.
I think we'll be fine for a while.
Can I have my phone light, and can I kind of shine it around the room and see if there's anything other than corpses in here?
Looking up, you do see some chain welded to the ceiling of this steel freezer that comes down and gaffer hooks into the corpses in front of you. Besides the clothes that they're wearing, the RV is very large cuts along the wrists and arms and necks of these individuals that they apparently have been bled consistently, repeatedly. Unless you want to start scavenging through their clothes to see if there's any personal effects. There's not much else in here. It looks like when you tasted that shot of whiskey laced with blood up before, it's now kind of coming together. The hooks out in the main room, where now there is presumably a raging hell burning. Those are the ones that are still alive. Here, these are the ones that are dead, that they mix into the drinks for kindred. A clever ploy, no value for hunger, but it does push the need for the thirst.
Actually, if they still have their clothes on, I would like to rummage through those things.
You do have a little bit of light in here, so go ahead and make a Wisp plus investigation.
I will direct my light.
Add an extra die.
Whatever.
I have a 6.
6. Rummaging,
I like criticals.
rummaging through these bodies, the pockets are empty. You don't really find any back pockets, dress jackets, or whatever attire these individuals are wearing. Though you do find one of them, his hand is clenched extremely shut. Wiggle around, you do see a glint of gold peeking through the hand.
I don't mean to be that guy, but I don't think you're gonna need that, so I'm just gonna pry his hand open.
You
see
begin
what it is.
pulling his fingers, they just break right off.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
As you open up his hand and see in his hand, on a gold chain, it's a cross. It's simple, of twisted silver and copper metal. It's not necessarily elaborate, but it is a crucifix.
Crap. I'm I'm going to pocket that and at the same time just silently give a little prayer for this guy.
Even in death, your faith isn't swayed. Time continues onward. Grayson, you can check your phone repeatedly. Another 5 minutes go by, 10 minutes go by. The freezer still gets steadily warmer, but not aggressively. It's not uncomfortable. It's still overall cold, comparative to maybe an autumn's evening. Not quite freezing, but not quite cold either. But eventually, you look at your phone, and the battery runs out. And you're plunged in the darkness once again. It's been about maybe 40 minutes. And you wait. And wait. You hear something heavy on the outside. It rattles the floor.
I'm about to start knocking on the walls.
Acer immediately begins knocking like crazy. Crescent, you hear a very gruff voice. Familiar. You hear Bertrand. I think they're here! I think they're here! Help me move this shit!
Can I hear any of this?
You can faintly hear it.
As soon as I hear it, I'm going to go to the door and start banging on it. Hey, here!
I think that's our rescue crew.
Between you and Acer, you are making a lot of racket banging in the freezer. Eventually, you hear the sound of stressed metal as door. You see cracks beginning to form on the lining. Apparently, the outside of this freezer had gone so hot, the door started to melt together. Now a larger crack of light that breaks in. The smoke that was inside this freezer kind of flooding back out into the room as there was as bright flashlights are immediately in both your faces. You take a second to readjust yourselves. The bright light hits both you and Acer. Pulls away a bit. You do see it's actually Bertrand's like, oh, thank fucking God it's you.
Oh,
Jesus.
There are two in the other one.
Oh, right. He snaps his finger twice, and two more rush behind him and begin working on the other freezer. Crescent, you hear the sounds. You feel the entire freezer jostling a little bit as someone is working on this door. Sarah just goes, oh my God, I thought we were going to cook alive.
It's fine. See? Told you. Everything would be fine.
You know what? Trust the naive.
Yeah. Wait, who are you calling naive?
You're kind of a child compared to me.
What?
How old are you?
I mean, are we talking about true age?
That answers my question.
No, it's a valid question.
The door cracks open. You see light coming inside as you see a very gruff man. A bit of tattooing along the side of his neck down his very well-built frame. It's familiar to you. It's Michael. Rips the front to the door open. Oh! Fancy to see you here.
I didn't even know that you were... Why are you here? What?
Bertrand called me. I owed him a favor. You see a hand reach in, and his other hand reaches the door, and you watch the middle just bend outward as he just folds this door open with brute strength, ripping it off the hinges, letting you guys get out.
Great. All right. Grabbing Sierra, getting out.
Bertrand helps you two out as well as you guys step out back into the main room. And looking around, it is a blackened char. Grayson, looking up, it looks like the thudding you heard was the wooden portions of the old building falling on top of the freezer, but you look up and you just see charred stone and brick above you. Thank God for renovations.
That's going to need a little work.
If I were to look out, how far did the fire get to the back of the room?
Looking around, this entire room had been engulfed. You can actually see panels of wall just eaten and gone, and you can see about maybe 2/3 down the hallway from where that secret entrance was is just pockmarks of opened, charred pieces of wall and wood.
Good call, Acer. Good call.
Step out, I just pat Acer on the back, like, good thinking.
Can we go home?
First, I have to ask, is there anyone else down here?
Us four.
Yeah.
I think the ones who did it went running off, so...
Well, funny thing about that.
Mm-hmm.
Funny thing about what?
It's better you all just come with me to see for yourself.
Oh, I'd love to hear this. I'm falling right behind Bertrand.
coming out of this room, you do see that there is Bertrand. There is an individual. He's maybe about a head taller than you, wide-shouldered with this very thick leather jacket, tattooing kind of peeking up from underneath the inside of his jacket itself. He's got a few different necklaces wearing on. You can see a very large, like, iron chain cross with two nails just kind of twisted over to make the cross portion. You can see various other types of dog tags and insignibilia. This guy reeks of Harley Rider. Big time Harley Rider. You do see another individual, not anywhere near as strong. It is a woman. But it is actually the woman that had blocked your guys' way in from her earlier. But you do see along the side of her neck, all the way down to the front of her shirt, that has been sliced open. There is a nasty looking wound there, a little bit of blood kind of pulling off the side of her lip. You assume that she must have gotten into a fight with the three that had broken their way down here.
Just gonna be holding my damaged shoulder. So they got to you and then got to us. Great. Okay.
Yeah, it was 3-on-1. They jumped me pretty quickly, but when I came to, I ran off for help.
Well, thanks for that.
To be fair, I didn't really know you guys were even still alive. I was more like trying to keep the building from coming down around us. No offense.
Yeah, no. So, Michael, you doing good now?
Yeah, I'm doing just fine.
Funny reunion.
I honestly want to skip this whole Elysium thing. It's not really much my style, as you probably would have guessed, but who is the fucking jackass that put the freezer in front of the door? You know how heavy that shit is?
In our defense, that was more of a precaution, so we didn't.
That was technically both of us.
As Crescent points to me, you're just going to see Acer look wide-eyed at her and then look at the person who asked the question and then just kind of look away like, oh, look at that. The room's black. Interesting.
Well, I guess it was a smart thing, but just so you know, you make it really hard for someone to try and rescue you when you block the only fucking way into the room, okay?
Well, in our defense, there was a whole wall of fire.
Bertrand takes a long sigh, like, that's not really the problem at hand. Can we at least move on? You see Michael just kind of rolls like, yeah, tit for tat. Just gotta harass the redhead.
Acer in the background, yes.
But I have to agree, Bertrand, this is absolutely unacceptable. I would hope you agree.
Oh, I don't even have to agree, even though I do. The prince is... If you thought this room was bad, you should see the prince's hair right now. Anyway, come on. As Bertrand begins to step over the many pieces of rubble that are just littering up area. As you guys step over charred chairs, tables, furnishings, sculptures, and art completely burned away. There is massive amounts of paraphernalia that, when you guys walked in, are now just either charred, slightly cindering remains, or just piles of ash. Acer, as you're walking by, a piece of wood machine kind of falls off and lands right next to you. It's a cloud of ash.
Go on.
So, while we're just walking here, Michael, does the name Snowman ring a bell at all?
Yeah, no, he's upstairs.
Oh, great. How's his arm?
Pretty fucked.
Great.
Well, at least we know we got the right man.
Grayson chuckling in the back.
Bertrand staying very stoically quiet, which does unnerve you a little bit, Grayson. Brings you through this winding hallway. It's not too far to get to the main entrance, but leading up to this area, you definitely can see the initial torrent of the blaze. You can see a few charred plastic remains in the slight shape of a few gas cylinders. Very small, things you could hide in a coat pocket. This kind of stuff you'd bring to a camp cookout of some kind, but definitely enough of an accelerant to get dry wood burning fast. But you can see the blatant barricade that used to be there is now a cindering, charred heap just splattered into pieces. But Bertrand kind of steps over to the rubble, helping each of you on the way while maintaining the front position, and leads you up the stairway. In the stairway, the party is over. The many colored lights that are dancing along the walls and ceilings are gone. Just white, bright stage light everywhere. There aren't that many people left behind. This crowded space has been evacuated, but you do see on the main dance floor there are several individuals. The prince, as well as the sheriff and his hounds, are there. You do see a few of the Primogen, you do see Amanda, and you see what Virgil described as the Tremere Primogen as well, staying not too far away, as well as the several others that you don't really recognize them per se. But Crescent, to your relief, you also see Enzo and Eleonora. And they are standing over 3 kindred on their knees in the middle of the dance floor with a spotlight right on top of them. And you can see Enzo with his hands just raised wide, his eyes completely blackened over and veins protruding out. As you can see his signature arms of shadow just wrapped around each of their throats, holding them down to the floor. And he just looks over to you and winks. Hope it wasn't too hot down there.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm actually happy to see you. So what's going on?
He just chuckles a little bit as you can see those shadows kind of grip tighter. You see them, the 3 on the ground, just kind of... The prince dusts off his hands. Like, what's going on is that we caught these 3 individuals. Well, we say we, as he kind of gestures over to Enzo. He saw these 3 bolting out of the basement very quickly and just happened to take upon himself to grab all of them and hold them down, as you can see here. You see the 3 of their necks very tight. One tries to speak, the Bruhaman, snowman, that tried to pummel you into the car, tries to speak, but can't get any words out as the shadow just tightens around his throat. You feel that bestial pleasure just cause you to smile, Crescent. It's that payback against someone that touched you. And you can see over to his right, his arm just hanging uselessly against his side, blackened all the way down to the fingertips, just hanging there like a dead weight. This big Bruja brought to his knees with your mark left upon him. Satisfying. As the prince continues, honestly, they're lucky that Enzo got to them first. I had a hell and high water get Amanda out of here, as what you all did to her club. He turns his head to see the Toreador individual, very bright blonde hair, gentle features, blue eyes, just over there in the corner next to the painting that's covered in glass and wine from Genghis through his tantrum, just biting down her thumb, just shaking. You can see her eyes never leave the 3 as she is what you can assume is on the cusp of a full rage. It's very weird to see a Toreador get that angry. You informed me when you all came in that you all had some trouble. And I'm assuming since we got so lucky and managed to get to you all, we have now eyewitness account. Are these the individuals that gave you trouble?
I'm going to walk over to the 3, and I'm going to start looking at their faces.
It is indeed the exact ones. The one that you see heavily scarred and cut in the face was the one driving the bus. The one that broke off the top of the van, Snowman, as you know. You remember, you see the last one, a younger woman, though there's a slight bruising on one side of her face for where you see, remember she kissed pavement when you kicked her off the door. As you remember, they called it the name Baggy.
What's this one's name? Yes, I think I remember. Baggy, was it? As I get a little bit closer to her, and I tilt my head.
You tilt your head, you pull her up, and she kind of hisses at you a little bit. You see rows of sharpened animal-like teeth just sneering at you.
Could at least show a little civility. So I stand back up, straighten myself up. These are the ones.
Dragos nods. Well, I see there's no further need for discussion. The 3 of you have been found guilty of breaking Elysium, assaulting the Elysium location, and not only putting fellow kindred, these individuals, in jeopardy, putting our very prized delegation in jeopardy as well, which I specifically ordered to remain safe to everyone, but most importantly, you endangered myself. He kind of turns around, looking to everybody in the room. Now I know I'm a new prince. I know I've got time before I can start shoving my weight around dramatically, but it sounds like to me this was an actual threat attempt upon my life. And unless someone here wants to disagree, I think that's unacceptable.
Not disagreeing, but I am wondering why, and if they worked alone.
Crescent, go ahead and make a charisma plus persuasion.
Oh god, charisma, my least favorite.
It's not with humans.
That's only one dice.
It's still possible.
It's still possible. All right.
You get the sense it's not easily...
Success?
Okay.
There you go.
It's not hard to sway Drago's mind, it appears, when he's on a tirade. Because as soon as the words leave your mouth, he spins around to you and snaps. That's a good point, actually. That's a good point. Why? Why is a good answer. Mr. Enzo, is it? Enzo just looks over to the prince and smiles and nods. Would you please loosen your grip just enough to let that one with the fucked up arm, let him speak. Enzo just kind of shrugs, and you just see him just clench his hands ever so slightly. That tightens the grip on the other two, but the one around Snowman's neck just loosens ever so slightly. You hear, yeah, can you do me a favor and can you just realign the vertebrae right underneath my fucking skull, you freak? Dragos just casually walks around in front of you. Squats just right in front of Snowman, get right into his face. Kind of grabs him by the face and just squishes his cheeks a little bit, turns him left and right. Looks him over and kind of pats him on the face. So, get talking. Because I'm very curious as to why. Why go through all of this trouble? I mean, you broke Elysium rules already. And the way I see it, you are all in about as deep as shit as you could possibly fucking get. Why? Who knows? Maybe what you will say will entertain me enough to even maybe let you fucking live. Snowman just looks at the prince, before his eyes kind of look over to you, Grayson and Crescent and Acer. Do you guys say anything?
Not gonna say a damn thing. I'm just gonna stand in my corner and watch from afar.
I'm just watching.
Snowman just slowly looks back to the prince, looks to his coterie mates, see his shoulders slump, defeated. He knows there's no way out of this. I have a name. That's all I got. A name and a phone number. Oh. Well, what is this name? Guy named Frank. Frank Gowhan. He's really, really insistent. I'm taking care of the, He looks over to Sierra. That one. Drago's kind
She has a name too.
Yeah, so do you, bitch. You see Enzo tighten the shout. Now, language. Let's keep it civil here. I mean, still technically we're in Elysium. Isn't that right, Prince? Fair enough. He kind of makes a slight gesture and the tendrils release ever so slightly. I can see all you weird shadowy freaks stick together. Gotta have to. I mean, you just try to set my sister, both my sisters, on fire, and her friends. I find that very rude. Dragos, I concur. Now, at this moment, I'm going to need Crescent and Grayson. Actually, just Grayson, because you'd be the only one within Kindred Society enough to possibly have heard of this. I need you to go ahead and make a intelligence plus streetwise.
Intelligence and streetwise. I can do that.
Or politics, one of the two.
Definitely streetwise.
Fair enough.
Okay, 5 successes.
5 successes.
Wow.
That name,
Wow.
Frank Gowan. Frank Gowan. You snap your fingers. That name comes to you. That individual is dead. That individual, based on what Bertold had told you back during one of the big fires in Seattle, about around the 90s, that individual was murdered during one of the great fires in an attempt to claim his territory by just some ragtag upstarts that were taking advantage of the chaos that he had unfortunately to survive. That name hasn't been said for a long time based on what you heard, because it was confirmed that he had succumbed to flame.
That's right. Step forward again. Frank is dead. Frank died in the fires. There is no Frank.
Dragos looks over to you, Grayson.
Apologies, my prince.
No. For once, your loose tongue does you well. I'd almost forgotten about Frank. He had been such a nobody He had territory, but that's a good point. What do you say to that, Mr. Snowman? At this point, you can see the mood on his face drop. Snowman immediately has this look of stark fear. It's like, I don't know. That's the name we were told. I had a phone, the name, and that's it. That's what I know. That's what I know. I'm not lying about this. We were promised.
What was the phone number?
I don't fucking know. It's a couple burners in my pocket, in all of our pockets.
Do you still have them?
I have one left.
I'm going to look to the prince and be like, may I?
Dragos looks over to you, Acer, raises an eyebrow. And what the fuck do you think you're going to do?
Well, if it's a burner phone, then that means you get one call and that thing explodes. However, if I open up the back and go in through the circuitry, I can probably override.
You're talking way too much that I don't give a shit about. What I'm asking you is, why do you think that I would even fucking care about what you could do, Thin Blood?
Because if I could get the number, you can find out where this came from and who did it.
Go ahead and make a charisma plus persuasion.
No, I don't have that.
If anyone wants to chime in, they may try to help with this.
I will step in at this point. Like, my prince, if I may, my coterie mate here is actually quite handy with this. He may actually be able to ascertain whoever is on the other end without having to waste the information.
I'll give you both a choice. Either Grayson rolls with a -1 penalty for trying to stick up for a Thin Blood, or Acer can roll with a +1 for the assist. Take your pick. Sierra kind of puts her hand up, and he was a lovely conversationalist. The driver immediately shoots an eye over to Sarah, who really pipes back down. But you do seem kind of relaxed a little bit. Sarah will aid you as well, so you can have an extra 2 for the risk that you're taking. As Acer, you are speaking up in a room full of lions. You are merely a cub.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I was just kind of focused on, I can track that fucker.
No, it's very in character.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, thank you for the 2 dice rolls. That's a crit for a total of 5.
5 successes for a Thin Blood in the Elysium Court to the prince himself. My, how miracles can happen. Dragos tilts his head. He seems very stern, just straight up distasteful at your presence. As you kind of step forward and your coterie mates taking up the best they can, the disgust turns to more curiosity. Tilts his head at you. He gets up, walks over you. Now I remember you. You were a hair trigger away of becoming my new wall art, weren't you?
He's just going to shake his head. He's not really going to respond. He's just going to shake because he remembers the shut up command.
He looks over to you, Grayson. Has this individual been good? Staying within line as I told you to?
Yes. To the best visibility, absolutely.
Maybe we'll make a full blood out of you yet. This would be a good day for you to start showing what you're capable of. Go ahead. You've now piqued my curiosity. Hopefully whatever you do is very successful. I'll be watching.
And he's just going to give a bow as he walks over to Snowman and just goes, all right, who has the burner phone?
Snowman just kind of looks down very subtly at his jacket pocket.
All right, cool. And I'm just going to search through his pocket for the burner phone.
You kind of rummage through, you pull out a few things, you pull out a large knife, kind of just tossed to the side, pair of riding gloves, what appears to be a small package of some kind of powder, toss it off the side as well. Before you finally feel, you pull out, there's a small Nokia-sized phone. You turn it on and still got juice.
Cool. Okay, anybody have a smartphone? I'm just going to look around the room.
There's a large wave of quiet.
No?
Before Berchtold sighs, he pulls out a small phone and he hands it very begrudgingly over to you, Acer, before Dragos shoots him a very wide-eyed glare.
Thank you. I'm happy to see that you have this, and I'm going to pay you back for this, and I'm going to rip off the back, take out his SIM card and his drive, and I'm going to put them in my pocket and then put in mine.
Before long, it takes you a few moments to kind of pop these things off, where you slip into your phone. After a few moments, you see a little loading bar just begin kind of going up. Crescent, go ahead and make a Wits Plus Awareness roll for me, please.
Okay.
As Ace's monstrosity of a program loads up into the phone.
You said what's an awareness?
Yes.
Okay. Luckily, I'm very good at that. Holy shit. Okay. 4 success.
4 successes. Let me double check something. Things just got very, very interesting.
Oh shit.
Acer, you look at your phone and 100%. After a moment, the front desktop melts away. Little fanfare kind of pops out. There's a small little watermelon rolls on the screen and bursts out. Small chibi Ikaros. Just kind of wakes up from a long nap-like animation, kind of looks around the phone, just waves to you.
Oh, there you are, girl. Okay, gonna need your help here. Do you happen to have the cord for your phone?
Virtual just kind of looks around the room that has now everyone definitely been looking at him. He sighs as he slowly, just without anything on his face, just pulls out a small USB cord and hands it over to you. Just keeping an eye on the prince the whole time, who's shooting him daggers. You get the sense that technology is not very well favored in front of the prince.
I am concentrating specifically on the phone, so I notice nothing. I'm just gonna plug that bad boy in and plug the other end into the Nokia, and I'm just gonna be like, all right, let's see if I can get this number without the phone going off. And I'm gonna try to use the smartphone to soft hack into the burner phone and grab the number without the safety telling it to be destroyed.
All right, go ahead and make an intelligence plus technology roll with this, and you do add your specialization. This is soft hacking. Mm-hmm. Granted, this device is nowhere near as powerful as yours, but it'll do for what you're doing.
I have so many dice. I love hacking so much.
Doesn't come off often, but it pays to have a tech cam, even if it's not a
okay. Jesus. All right, hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 successes. Jesus. No crits.
So that's a high roll. Unfortunately, it's not a critical, so the phone, the burner phone, is not salvageable. However, as you begin picking through the data, you're able to, there it is, and snatch that number. You see a little animation. You could also kind of dive into like a little tiny animated key lock hole before coming back out with a little present box and opens it up. As you can see a contact number go up onto Virtual's eye screen. But as soon as it does, you see the bird phone fizzle out, as apparently she attempted to essentially soft call the number, which unfortunately burnt the phone, but you got the number.
Well, disconnects and just tosses the phone across the room. Don't need that anymore.
It shatters into pieces as soon as it hits the floor. Virtual just kind of steps out of the way as a piece slides underneath his foot.
And then we just plug this into Google. Really, it's a great thing. Boop. There we go. This is where the call was made from.
Looking at the call, the last GPS ping is in this building. As you hear a door in the back close.
Okay, he's getting away.
Going.
You're immediately to try and go?
A rapid reflex going.
You begin hauling ass. Immediately as well, Damien, and you remember as you see Alexis are hot on your heels as you are bolting out the back of that doorway. It takes you a second to find out where it is, but go ahead and make a wits and awareness roll as you're the first one out in this moment.
Is this is a separate wits and awareness roll?
Yes.
Right?
As unfortunately, whoever this was slipped past your naturally alert senses.
Right, I'm sorry. I got your master in probably so much trouble.
Well, he will. We're resourceful, kind.
7.
Seven successes.
It was crit.
Despite this individual having very high levels of obfuscate, you whip your head around just in time to see a small box kind of shift ever so slightly on a dumpster. As your eyes make contact with that specific spot, it is just enough noise for that unseen passage to fade away. As you are looking through the shadow and you see a man, a young man, very young in face and complexion, very stylish hair kind of pulled up into a frontward spike, dark brown hair, full male lips. He looks back as he stumbles a bit, sees you and make eye contact. He goes, fuck, and begins booking it.
Oh, that's not very polite. And I'm going after him.
All right, that's not hard for you. Even with rapid reflex, you begin sprinting after him as fast as you can. Go ahead for me. Let's see here. How fast is he? Not terrible. I'll say this is going to be a competing roll. Go ahead and make a stamina plus athletics, as you are the first one in this chase.
Stamina and athletics. That's right. And may I rouse the blood for this?
You may go ahead and do so.
Success.
1 success.
4 successes.
4 successes. You beat him with a margin of 3. As you charge him at a full speed, he rolled very badly. Actually, he'll rouse the blood just in case. Nope. Well, maybe. Nope, not enough. He had a crit. He would have to crit to do it. But you charge after him as fast as you can, your legs carrying you like the assassin you are, for you right on top of him. What do you want to do? You hear footsteps hot on your heels as you have definitely caused the scene. You hear the sound of Daniel like, after them too, come on! And it's like, oh, I'm going to get you first!
I'm immediately grappling him.
All right, go ahead and make a strength plus melee, or sorry, strength plus brawl. He is going to try and resist. Actually, he's going to do this instead. As you reach out to grab you, before you roll, he's going to spin around as he feels your hand touch him. He looks at you dead in the eye, and you see him go, I need you to stop them from chasing me! As he tries to dominate you.
Oh.
Never try to dominate a Lasombra. It doesn't work.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
This is going to be your intelligence plus resolve.
I'm going to try and rouse the blood again for this because I need this.
Go for it.
Hey, that's fail. Okay.
Oh, he's going to burn a willpower for that.
Scaring me
And
with
he's going to
that.
rouse the blood for it, too. I had a lot of dice, but let's see what happens. What do you have?
I have a messy crit.
A messy critical.
I do.
Do you choose to keep it, Crescent?
I don't have that much willpower left to burn, though.
You could try. Think about it. Is you want to? What? How many successes in total do you have?
With the crit, 7.
7 successes. I rolled a lot of dice. That's a lot of successes. You could try and lose the crits, but you may risk losing control of yourself and may find yourself turning upon the other pursuers as he ordered you to stop his pursuers.
Taking the messy crit.
You're taking a messy crit. Go ahead and roll your, as he is not resisting, just for an average difficulty for the sake of the scuffle, go ahead and give me an athletics plus brawl. Or sorry, strength plus brawl total.
Strength and brawl. 5.
5 is more than enough for this. As he turns, you feel your mind kind of grow hazy for a minute before that bright flower of your beast just flares, and you feel an anger inside you, like you know he's trying to reach into your mind, and it fills you with this unsavoring fury. You were insulted. Another person who thinks they're better than you is trying to control you, and you rear your teeth back, fangs extend, and you reach him by the shoulders and throw him against the wall. He gasps it, you grab again and throw him against the dumpster, and as you hear Damien and Alexis shout, "Stop, wait!" You already have his fangs into his neck. You hold him on the ground as he screams, and you begin drinking into him in pure fury. This is the last time that someone is going to control you and get away with it. You're going to make him pay. So you dig your fangs in, begin to drink. You leave your mark again. It's a high potency. As the blood rushes straight, the vitate pulls in. He screams in pain as he begins flailing about, and you drink. You are potency 3, correct?
Yeah.
You slate 1 hunger. That's all the time you have before you feel 2 sets of hands go, get off him! You got off! Cross it! You feel Damien wreck you to your feet and pull him off. You stumble backwards as the raw Bruja string tears you from his neck, blood pouring from the front of your mouth and just heaving like an animal. As you just see Damien's look on you, just like, calm the fuck down! You got him! Calm the fuck down! Now! You good? Get the fuck back inside. Now! Now, Crescent!
Walk past him.
You take 2 points of willpower damage as you've been embarrassed, grievously, socially. You walk away as you can hear the scuffing and struggling behind you. In the meantime, this seems like a very lovely time to have a 5-minute break. So, everyone go get water. Go ahead and drink from the nearest source you can, and we will return in a moment to find out what happens next. All right, and we are back, everyone. So, at this point, while this is happening outside, Grayson and Acer, what do you guys do? As the room is just in shock, where Crescent just practically vanishes using rapid reflexes to get out that door. You see Damien and Alexa both out the door as well.
I actually want to track him if he still has his phone on him.
Well, you don't need to work for very long. As you're trying to do this, in a minute, that door opens again. And from your perspective, you can see Crescent, with a mouth caked in blood, just slunks her way back inside, her eyes wide on the edge of fury.
I'm going to go up to her and take out my handkerchief, and I'm going to kind of like get in between, like, basically I'm like covering her presence with mine, just here. Thanks. Mm-hmm. I'm going to lean down to her and kind of whisper, you did good. Well done.
Oh, you're like, good, Grayson. Lost control.
As do we all. We just need to regain composure. Regain. Mm-hmm. We'll turn back around. Move back towards the prince. It looks like we were successful.
After a few moments, you hear the door behind you open again. You guys make room as David and Alexis have both an iron hold on a man bringing you in, and the crowd kind of just verbally gasps as Dark goes, I cannot fucking believe it. As the individual you all saw, as I described before, that slipped out. His arms kind of twisted and cracked in strange, awkward angles as Alexis and Damon are both hoisting him off of his feet, holding him in place. That way he can't move. Drago just, bring him here, as the crowd are just watching with wide eyes. Alexis and Damien set him next to the others, hold him down tight, kind of twist his arm. You hear a sickening crunch. Go ahead and release his eyes. You probably won't pull any tricks on me. Damien holds him by the shoulders with Alexis one arm, but also keeps a hand on the back of his neck. You see long, ferrule-like claws kind of extend, talons just digging into the sides of his throat. Well. I should have guessed the Malkavian Primogen himself would have fucking lost his screw. Well, son, what do you have to say for yourself? Because, you look pretty guilty to me. The Sombra aren't good for the Camarilla. They're not good for us. They will completely tear us all apart from the within. They ran from the Sabbat because they were fucking losing. Now we're going to bring them over here? Shh, as he just puts a finger on his lips. I expected better out of one of my Primogen. You're the loudest individual that protested my rise to power, and I tolerated your jeers and your insults and your passive-aggressive nature and your strange fucking mental state. And now you just really proved my point to go from pain in my ass to full-on traitor. Because that's not your fucking decision. I don't care that you dislike me and how I did things. The fact is, no one else stopped me. I could have just ripped your head off then and there. But instead, I let you live at my side, enjoyed the benefits of your position, and I didn't take anything away from you. I only added order. And this is how you betray me. By spitting on what I said to do. These were my delegations. I brought them in the city. I made the decision, and you're supposed to respect that. Looks up, is like, well, you're fucking insane. Did you know that? Everyone here knows it, and if Moncaven's calling you insane, it must be fucking true. You have no human rotators because you turned them into art. Crack! His front of his face erupts with blood as Drogba's fall just punches him straight in the face. The nose bending sideways as Variety just splatters out the front of his mouth. Drogba just kind of stands up, shaking his hand a little bit. Looks over the portfolio, snaps his fingers a couple times, who quickly pulls out a small handkerchief. Drogba flaps it over the floor, just wipes off the front of his hand. Throws his handkerchief off to the side. Damien, I seek your counsel, as that's what I'm supposed to do as prince, right? I don't just... Apparently, by what this individual is saying, I don't get to just make decisions and call the shots. I need everybody's fucking approval. So, Damien, as my sheriff, what do you think I should do about this? Go ahead. Tell me, the Prince of Seattle, what the fuck should I do about this? Well, if you have to ask me, sir, I suggest you ask the ones he directly opposed. I think that's befitting. I mean, of course, he came against you and the rest of us. That's definitely a big deal. But I think that responsibility decision should lie upon the victims. Dragos kind of cracks his knuckles, cracks his neck. An excellent idea. He spins around with a flourish, looking at the three of you just dead on, taking a moment to look at Crescent, the slight bits of smudging still along your lips. Well, come now! Speak the fuck up! What do you think I should do? It's only fair that I get advice. So please, the three of you, speak your minds. You're the ones that are most affected, obviously. What should I do here? Come now, don't be shy, speak the fuck up. You've been chatty up until now.
I would trust in the prince's decision-making. That is my choice.
Gotta be honest, this guy tried to kill people I care about, so I think he should high-five the sun.
Looks over to you, Crescent. Well, little La Sombra. 1-1. I guess the final vote comes down to you. What do you want? I see you already had a taste. Come on. What the fuck do you want me to do? Mm-hmm. What can I do for you as your goddamn prince? How can I serve you?
You need to make the decision. Because you are the prince.
Turns around to Sun. They see that? The Thin Blood is capable of fucking thought. I don't expect him to have the same kind of standards as the rest of us, and I really hate you more for making me want to agree with a fucking Thin Blood. But the rest of them know their place. They know who's fucking in charge of this room. Me. I know what's best for this fucking city. You know nothing. You have gotten comfortable with your position for fucking too long. While the rest of the barons fucking sat in a circle jerk, vying for territory, trying to play democracy. I brought the tower back together. Me! And you had the fucking gall to undermine me. And look at the rest of them. As he takes a moment to flay out to the hand of the crowd, no one's saying a fucking word. They know their place. You, obviously, do not. So, this is the greatest fucking irony. A Primogen. One of the best of your clan. A representative to Clan Malkavian itself. You know, you points over to you, Acer, as he begins walking straight up to you. You come here, come here, come fucking here. As he puts hooks in front of your shirt and begins pulling you over.
I'm gonna go willingly before I get thrown into the same issue.
It's dragging you out in the middle of the floor. You're kind of stumbling over yourself. Drago's reach up with a clasp on your shoulder, holding you very tightly. You could feel his nails digging into your shirt. You get to understand, and you get to know, that I'm going to take the counsel of a fucking thin blood. I'm going to listen to the suggestion of a fucking thin blood. And I'm going to fucking stake you. And I'm going to put you into the fucking sun. Right on my fucking window so I can watch. That's what's going to happen to you, son. This thin blood sentenced you to die. The lowest of our kind has sentenced you to death. And I agree. I think it's he's going to start smacking his son on your cheek, Acer, affectionately, but a little bit aggressively, in a slightly maniacal sense. I think this boy is a real fucking smartass. Go on, go join your friends. He kind of shoves you off the side, Acer.
And I am going to do that without saying a damn word.
Just gonna kind of take a pull to
I'm
us.
gonna
Just pull him like
wave my
behind
hand,
me.
like,
This one, like, you can't fucking... He is immediately silent. As Drago's literally takes his hand, shoves it into the ground. You hear a sickening crunch as he punches through the wooden floor, rips off a chunk, and Son looks at Drago wide-eyed. His head kind of slacks as his flesh begins to turn gray and stone-like as he's forced into torpor. Drago's hair kind of in his face. He looks his collar. Slowly looks at the crowd. Anyone disagree? Anyone? Good. The rest of you have any fucking opinions about how I do things? No? Good. He walks over past the three on the ground, who look at him, just pleading as Enzo's still holding them. Their wide-eyed with terror, shaking. Looks at them. You'll join them. You'll join your employee. Because you should have known better. But you're not going to get staked. We're going to hang you by the neck. Because the only thing worse than an upstart treasonous bastard like your employer is 3 able-bodied kindred that didn't have the fucking brainstem and the capacity to think for them fucking selves. There's nothing worse than a traitor than the ones that decided to serve a fucking traitor. So you get hung by the neck on my windowsill this morning, and I, as I rest in my space, will comfortably know that in the morning you will be carried away on the wind. Looks to Enzo and Eleonora as they just stand there attentionally smiling. Eleonora looks to Dragos and just smiles very affectionately at him, which you do see him kind of readjust his hair and smile back at her with this very slight manic expression. Take them away. Damon, you're in charge of these 3. If they escape, or if anything else fucking happens tonight, you'll be joining them. Understood. Damon just nods said, yes, my prince. Good. Now get this filth out of my fucking Elysium. As Eleonora, Enzo, Damien, and Alexis pick up the quarry and begin dragging them down into the burnt basement below. Dragos takes a moment, he stretches his shoulder, and cracks his neck. Adjusts his clothes a little bit, and taps his foot a few times. Turns his primogen. Well, I apologize, my friends. It seems our little party has to end early. You're all free to go home. Take this as a warning, though. My patience is only so much. I expect everyone else to start fucking falling in line. I seek your counsel. You don't get to make decisions. I make decisions now. I don't care that the anarchs have decided to have problems with how I do things. They have problems with anybody in charge. I don't care about your own agendas. What I care about is the whole of Seattle itself. And if any of you want to step out of line, let this be a reminder to what will happen. But go home. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I apologize the party went so sour. Get out of my face. As the Primogen all bow and curtsy their way, Amanda kind of hovers a little bit, and she kind of looks around a little bit confused as this appears to be her dwelling. But she does awkwardly begin to ascend up the stairs. For Juggles turns to you four. Well, consider the fact that I can't get one fucking moment's peace. Why don't we handle business now? Sarah, you've caused quite a stirring. Quite a stirring indeed. 4 of you come with me. As he begins walking.
I'm following.
Immediately following.
I'm gonna quickly take out my 2 chips and put in Grayson's sire's chips back in, and just kind of have him phone like, I'll send you money so you can replace the back of your phone. Just don't worry. Thanks for the phone. And then I'm going to follow.
You see Berthold sighs. You hand him back the pieces of his phone as you guys leave, and he goes, "You have bigger problems tonight, sir. Good luck." As he does kind of pat you on the back a little bit, Acer gives you a very approving nod, Grayson. You see a very elegant smile on his face as he just nods at you.
I give him a slight nod back.
Before letting you all pass, and he walks in the opposite direction. Dragos leads you out all into the street. And you all begin just walking down the sidewalk. There are fire trucks pulling up now, police officers are on standby, Dragos just snaps his fingers, and they all, as if unbroken by time, rush back into the building. Dominate's a funny characteristic. They all rush past you as if they don't even see you. They don't ever touch you, but they immediately run into the building, doing their job. And Dragos just begins walking down the street as rain begins to heavily fall over the city. You hear a slight rumbling of thunder in the distance as Seattle is plunged into another rainy night. And he just keeps walking. Do you guys do anything?
I'm not speaking unless I'm spoken to. That's what I've learned with this crazy guy.
Want to keep an open, just be aware of my surroundings.
I'm just gonna stick by everybody, and do I recognize where we're going, or is he just aimlessly walking in circles?
Grayson and Crescent, you, without a roll, definitely recognize where you guys are going. You're walking the same path that you guys first met each other. You guys are walking back to Dragos' penthouse.
Oh. Just gonna look at Grayson, see if it's clicking with him of where we're going. Just like,
I kind of turn my head backwards and give that the side head nod, like, oh yes, I know.
Gonna look at Sierra, how she's doing.
She is holding onto the back of your charred, dirty, gore-stained dress and just staying very close to you, her head low, and not looking at Dragos as best as she can. You can look back at her, she does whisper, "Thank you."
And I'm just gonna give a look back to Acer too and just be like, you're doing good, like, just stay quiet.
You just see him nod as he's putting his chips in the little pill bottle to keep them from being wet.
It's a strange thing as you all continue down the street. Dragos begins to whistle a tune, a lighthearted tune. It's singing in the rain, and he seems to walk with almost not a care in the world. About 20 minutes goes by as there's a decent walk. He just keeps whistling the same song over and over and over again. He opens his arms wide, seeming to embrace the rain. Because we have a twirl even. You see a just bright smile. Before long, you guys make it back to the Emerald Palace, his penthouse. He walks on in. Walks to the lobby, people greet him, and he just smiles and nods. They all look to you wide-eyed as you guys look like fucking hell. And as Prince Stragos comes towards the elevator, one of the large Bruja bodyguards reach over to pick the bells and go, actually, on second thought, as he turns on his heel, looks at you guys. Cat points to Sierra and you, Crescent. Let's take the stairs.
That is fair.
Acer just in his mind like, no, stairs.
And it is a lot of stairs. As it takes you guys maybe about 15 minutes to climb about 35 flight of stairs. Drago's still just whistling. That cheerfully disturbing tone just echoing endlessly in the concrete stairway, constantly over and over and over again. Eventually he does open way 35, 40, so many stairs later. You walk into a large hallway and fall into a very carpeted section you guys are all familiar with. As he doesn't even pull up keys, he just grabs a doorknob to his door and turns. You hear a he just opens the door and walks on inside.
As I'm passing the door, can I take a look at it and see if he just broke the thing?
He ripped the doorknob off the door.
There's a hole there. Got it. All right. Note to self. Shut up. Don't talk.
It's a very lush penthouse. Open concept. You guys see, as with our wonderful background, ceiling to floor windows that span the entire outward wall, overlooking the bulk of Seattle. It's very finely furnished. Though not covered in blood like the last time you guys were here, the floors are now clean. It's very low lit with ambient lighting that glisten off many beautiful looking, ancient looking relics and sculptures and glasswork. You can see off in the distance a beautiful library that is being maintained and polished by what appears to be maybe another kind attendant, who as soon as Drago comes in, he stands up and folds his hands very attentively. Drago just pays him no mind as he walks by. The servant just kind of nods his head and goes back to very feverishly working. He takes you all through a series of open concept walkways and opens a door. Now gently appears into be a very luxurious office, where you see a very large half-moon style plush couch in front of a very massive, deep, dark oaken desk, covered in all kinds of intricate carvings, insignias, and sculptures. Grayson, go ahead and roll intelligence plus occult for me, please.
Okay. 2 successes for me.
The desk itself is ancient. You can tell fine craftsmanship from a mile away. This is hand-carved. Beautiful. But what strikes you is that there are many intricate hidden carvings, hidden within different intertwining sculptures of ravens that seem to be his signature mark on this desk. But the negative space these ravens cause create intricate symbols, fractions of different words and spelling. This desk is a symbol to the Tremere. As you can see, the clan symbol repeated over and over and over and over in every facet of this desk, hidden within flocks of sculpted ravens. Dragos walks in, points behind him to a random person, just happens to fall on you, Acer. Close the door behind you, please.
Acer's gonna just kind of look at the door with the knob off and just try his best to close it without having it open.
The knob
again.
On this one is still on. He was more gentle with this door.
Oh, okay. I thought we were still at the other door. Never mind.
No.
I'll just close it gently.
Dragos comes around and sits in a very large, plush, red velvet chair, sits down, creaks a little bit as he gets comfortable. Oh, don't be shy. Please sit.
Thank you, my prince. And I will find a spot to sit down, still within, of course, speaking distance of Prince.
I'm going to try and sit down where the armrest is, just because he very much feels a lot safer in corners. So he's just going to...
Well, there are 2. You take one. Sierra will happily sit in the middle between Grayson and Crescent.
That's understandable.
But despite her obvious nervousness, she boldly sits directly in front of the prince, maintaining eye contact. Does anybody want something to drink? You all hungry? Cold? Too hot? Should I get you anything?
Okay, thank you.
Yep, I'm good.
The drink is very much appreciated, my prince.
Oh, so you all?
If only if it doesn't inconvenience.
Oh, no, not at all. If you reach the desk for a moment before you hear, I'm thirsty. Bring 2 chalices of the usual. 2? Did I fucking stutter? I said 2. Okay, one moment. Close the door. Good. Now, I wanted to save this for tomorrow evening. But it seems that, well, I just can't have my way tonight, can I? Oh well. A prince's work is never done, so let's just deal with this now. Because frankly, I fear that if we wait on this any longer, I'll be dealing with a much bigger riot, and then I may have to roll some more heads, and none of us want that, now do we?
I would think not.
Sarah, please, enlighten me. After all, in my opinion, everything that has happened up until this point rests solely indirectly upon you. You are the linchpin, in my opinion, to the chaos that has been brought to my city. And to make matters worse, there is only one of you here now. Because your brother is off somewhere in my kingdom, gallivanting around, spitting in my face. I'm very curious now. What the hell does Clan La Sombra want with me? And why has it been put to such a situation to cause this much havoc? Sarah hands a note over to you, Crescent. You just hear her whisper, "Help, please."
The prince looking at me. I don't know how I can discreetly look at this note.
He seems to be looking at all of you equally, but he does not seem to be in any aggressive stance. He's actually sitting very comfortably in his chair.
Okay, then I'm just gonna just discreetly look down. Alright.
I have sent you the note.
Oh, we're doing this. Oh man, this is long. This is gonna take me a while to read.
That's fine. Take your time. You are in the presence of the prince.
Yeah, which is why I'm afraid not to make eye contact with him. What exactly do you need help with?
Just read it, please. Just give me a moment.
I did read it.
Read it to him.
I'll read it out loud. Right.
Do I see they're fumbling over something?
Yes.
You do see that she is fumbling over the note.
Chris.
I kind of look over like,
My coterie has survived a blazing inferno, but a simple piece of paper has defeated them.
One's dyslexic, the other doesn't know that she was meant to read it out loud, and it's the door.
I'm an idiot. Just ignore me.
Crescent just bows her head. She passes out the note to Grayson.
Grayson. Note for you.
Okay. I take it and I read it, not knowing that I'm supposed to keep this quiet. I read the note. What is it? Do you want me to?
Out loud! Damn it!
Oh, my prince, if I may. Appears, dearest Prince Dragos, our ancient enemy, the Camarilla. I write with full authority from the inner council of my clan, and hereby extend the offer of peace and friendship between Clan La Sombra and the Camarilla, as I wish to call an armistice, and join your flock to best survive the nights to come. I am aware this letter will come as a surprise, and you may ask why we did not approach your Justicars. It is the belief of our clan council that the Camarilla is governed by its respected princes, such as yourself, and ultimately it is up to you and your peers to decide whether you wish for us at your side or as opposition. This is a sincere offer. My delegates have authority to make deals on behalf of the clan, though please defer to Ms. Van Beers for matters of politics and Mr. Malenkoff for matters of war. I hope to be formally admitted guest to your domain in years to come without fear of reprisal from your mighty sheriff, without you having to be concerned that we act against you. With great respect, Sir Tally? Like a Templar for Clan La Sombra.
The prince sits quietly, his hands folded onto the desk, listening and watching you both all fumble over this very important piece of paper. Jargo's kind of rubs a small bit of patching on his chin. So Tally himself. Well, Sierra, have we offered you enough time to warm up? She nods her head. Anything you wish to add? Look, Your Highness, we are ready to do whatever it takes. The whole of the clan wishes to join the Camarilla. We get that this is a prince-by-prince basis, but we felt, Tally felt, with your desire for change, we thought that it might be best to reach out to you. You yourself are a New Age thinker, while still holding on tradition. You see Drago just shake his head. Are you fucking kidding me right now? You're actually serious about all of this. I have let you into my kingdom for 2 nights now. 2 fucking nights. And this is the amount of trouble that just you and your brother have caused me. I'm not even counting La Sombra over here, or her sire, or her other childer, but just this one alone caused a rippling in my kingdom before I was even in power. And then I let you, a stranger, into my kingdom, and for 2 nights. And I've sunned 4 of my kind. 4 Camarilla kindred will be turned to ash by the morning because of you. Not to mention, I'm going to find a new Elysium because now the basement is an ash heap. He looks to the rest of you. Well, what's your opinions? I merely summoned her here. But I'm actually curious. You guys are the ones that spent time with her in Malakoff, wherever the fuck he may be. What's all your take on this? Don't be shy. Please speak up. Now.
Grayson puts a hand up to his chin, scratching a little bit. My prince, if I may, I would consider myself curious, for yes, she has caused her and her brother caused a bit of trouble, but at the same time, maybe it's for good reason, as in they know how much this could benefit us to bring order.
You see Sierra straighten her back. Yes. If I remind you, my prince, that she seems to almost ride on this small stepping stone socially. She kind of straightens her back and looks at the prince. He makes eye contact again. Look, my sire Tally, if I remind you from the contents of this letter, he is willing to do whatever it takes. This is why we didn't just send all of us, just 2. And my brother, it's a different story. I can't control my brother, but I can control what I can do. And we are willing to do what it takes. We can help you bring order to this city. You have problems. The Sombra are good at fixing problems.
With all due respect, we've been in the city for the better part of 15, 20 years on the probation of joining the Camarilla, and we brought little problem, and I would be bold to say a lot more benefit.
Drago just shakes his head, scratching his beard. Crescent, your point is valid, but that does not make up for 5 fucking centuries of war and tireless bloodshed.
But that could change.
That could change, right. Or it could change for the worst. You saw what happened here tonight. If I just let a bunch of the summer come in, what's going to happen in my city? You think the Anarch presence bad now? Just wait till I make a decision like this.
They made their choice.
You are a child. They made their choice. But what happens if I let more of you all in? Eleonora and me have a very specific agreement. That is a different situation, which is the only reason why you still exist in the first place, as you were not meant to even be alive. You're lucky that your sire got permission from me, and we made an agreement that I would cover for her and her decisions while she gets her feet on the ground. She honored her bargain, therefore I honor hers, which means you still exist. But that doesn't make up for the fact that for 500 years, we've been at war with La Sombra. For 500 years, they have snuck and slugged their way through our cities, killing our elders, stealing from us, lying to us, and all around tearing us down from the outside. But as the Ivory Tower, it is obvious now that we have stood strong. The Sombra and the Sabbat are falling. They're tearing themselves apart now. Why should I invite that kind of fucking chaos into my fucking city?
Don't. Not all at once, my prince.
Sierra kind of pipes up. We will do anything. Even if you let us in little bits at a time. Funnel us. I don't care what it takes. We will do anything. I have the authority to make decisions. I would rather see all of your fucking elders staked onto a fucking pyre and see the sun. Sierra pipes up. Done. Jar goes, what? That's what you want. Elder La Sombra. The ones that you say have caused the problem for 500 years. That's what you want. Staked on a pyre. That's what you want.
Dude, I don't think
Sierra
that's what
puts
he
a hand
meant.
up. Dragos also waves a hand. Give me your proposition, Sierra. We will do what it takes. Tally has made us sure of that. We as a clan will survive by any means necessary. Is the requirement you're making, is that what you're telling me, that the only way you will allow La Sombra into the city as they come is that they bring you one that is older than themselves, staked? Is that what you're asking? Dragos at this point clasps his hands together. And he thinks. He leans back. I see him chewing on his bottom lip for a moment. I like it. I think this is a great hybrid idea, Mr. Holland. Miss Von Buren. We don't let them all in at once. They don't flood into the city. If La Sombra truly want to be within my kingdom, they must show the intention. So be it. Let's test this. Sierra, bring me your brother. He's older than you, correct? Yes. Good. We'll start with you. Bring me your brother staked, and I'll allow you to stay. If you are a success, and we can prove this method works, then I'll leave it up to myself and the Primogen, and we can discuss this further. But I like this idea. And Mr. Holland, this is a great fucking idea. Trickle in the worthy and the loyal. Have them work to enter into the Camarilla. Show their dedication by bringing down those stronger than themselves. Solve two problems with one stone. We weed out the elders that have caused so much strife. We bring in the new blood that are willing to be loyal, and they earn their place. That is my requirement. If you really, Sierra, have the authority that Tally so boldly declares, then this should be no difficult task for you. You should be able to bring me your brother, as he is conveniently not here, and I can only assume that he has broken many of my laws within my own city. So I see no reason to let him live anyway. Are we agreed, Miss Sierra, on behalf of Clan La Sombra? And we'll start with you as a trial period. Sierra takes a moment to look at the rest of you. Where she gets up. She reaches her hand out. Dragos gets over his chair and claps her hands with his. A deal it is! Good luck. I'll be very curious to see how this pans out. Now, if there's anything else, I think our business is concluded. Just as the attendant kind of swings the door open, carrying the 2 crystalline goblets of fresh crimson, kind of being a little bit woozy as he kind of tucks a hand behind him. You're fucking late. Hurry up. We're almost done. Yes, sir. He kind of stumbles in a little bit as he places very large goblets down on the desk. Get out. Go wipe something down and keep it clean. Right away, sir. Yes. He turns around and kind of stumbles his way out. Let's drink on it then.
I'll reach out, and right before I grab the glass, I'll hesitate, but then I'll pick it up and I'll hold it up.
Cheers! And he drinks.
I'll drink.
The blood is fresh, but it is fueled with fear. Drago sets the glass down, wipes his face very daintily. Wonderful. At least we can say something productive came out of this horrible fucking night. Now, anyway, I have preparations to make to receive this wonderful trial. Now, obviously, I have many, many hides to smooth over with this new agenda. You all can see yourself out. Good luck in your task. Especially to you, Sierra. I am understanding based on what your letter says that Malenkoff is an expert of war, so you will have all the luck you need. The 3 of you, though, your actions have been completed. Consider this now the end of our agreement. You all have done well. You've kept the delegation alive until this point, and she is now allowed to live as her own devices. As I said before, I do owe you all as a whole a single boon. A very large boon, I will say. If you wish to call me up on that. He looks slowly over to Grayson with a slight twinge of annoyance. You may call me once, Mr. Holland. One time.
Only one time, my friends.
And when you call me, or you come see me in person, whichever you need, I will honor this boon to the best of my ability at a later date. But for now, you may all leave.
I'm going to bow and I'm going to head towards the door.
Doing the same.
I'm going to make sure I have the letter. I'm going to tuck it away in my jacket as I place the glass down. Thank you, my prince. And I will stand up, small bow, and I will lead out at the very end of my group. So I'll let everybody else go first.
And Crescent, make sure you pass on my compliments to yourself, as well as your sire and older brother. As much as this chaos has been tonight, and as much as you did embarrass yourself within my court, do not take away from the fact that I am appreciative for helping me weed out a traitor. So thank you. Your loyalty has been noted. As you guys begin leaving and heading out the door towards the main foyer, you all turn just in time to see 4 bodies outside the penthouse beyond the glass, begin to dangle, soaking in rain, bathing into the lights of the city. One perfectly still with a piece of wood sticking out of his chest. The other 3 holding onto the ropes, struggling, trying to find the best way they can to remain comfortable. Unfortunately, kindred hanging doesn't kill you, as they are forced helplessly outside the glass to wait until morning.
As soon as we get out the door and I gently close it, I'm going to be like, what the fuck? Sarah, I thought he was your brother.
Are you guys outside into the stairwell by now? Or you have this conversation in his penthouse?
Oh, no.
I'd say we wait until we're out of the building.
Yes.
Yeah,
Let's wait until we're out of the building.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that's what I meant, to wait till we're out of the building.
Fair enough. You guys make your way down the stairwells, leaving out the lobby. The door attendant lets you out as you all reach out into the cold. You look up, Grayson, you can faintly see the 4 bodies just strung up by large metal hooks and rope. The very top of the penthouse, too far for most mortals to care or notice. But they're still there, waiting for their fate. You guys have kind of turned a corner, I'd say, and away from the thoroughfare traffic, as it's not terribly late in the evening, begin discussing as Sierra sighs, like, yes, he is my brother, but I hold no love for him. She turns around, now that the facade is fading, you can see like she's almost overwhelmed with emotion again. She covers her face for a moment. I had to come out and say it. I feel really horribly terrible for asking, but I need your help to find Malenkoff.
So, we need to find a brother who you hold no love for, stake him, present him to the prince as proof of whatever crazy plan he decided to twist Grayson's plan into.
Tribute.
To prove that this works, so everyone in your clan can go around staking everyone older than them just to get in here. He's gonna cause the biggest bloodbath I've ever seen.
Hey, sir. Are you familiar with the Titanic?
Familiar enough.
With the Titanic, there was never enough lifeboats. Sabat is the Titanic. If we do nothing, there will be no Clan La Sombra. You want to see a bigger bloodbath? How about an entire clan wiped out? Because the Shamise hold no love for us any longer, and the Camarilla is already at our backs. The Sombra are strong, but we cannot fight a war on both fronts.
Okay, then I merely ask where the limit is. You seem to know what you were talking about when it came to elders. What constitute as an elder?
Anyone older than you. That's an elder. So for me, Malenkov would be my older brother. He was sired before me.
And who was sired after you?
No one.
So we find Malenkov.
We find Malenkov. We stake him. We bring him to the prince. That'll be my ticket in. And if this works, he can show this as proof to the rest that we are willing to be loyal by whatever it takes. Then the rest of Clan La Sombra can do the same. Anyone that's older than in an individual, you bring them in staked, you prove your loyalty, you buy your way in. And this way, the lifeboats we have will allow the clan to survive. We will endure, but we have to do what it takes. By any means necessary.
Oh, boy. That's another thing I would like to ask. Grayson, did I hear you correctly? Malenkov?
Malenkov.
Thank you. Was the war expert.
Decorated.
He was alive during World War II, and his ghouls were in his squad.
Okay. He was decorated, which means he's in the history books, right?
Well, not officially. Officially, he died on the field, but in reality, that was just a mask. He fought in World War II because he wanted to. He's fucking crazy. Couldn't really say my mind until now, but he is fucking crazy, which is why if I have to find him, I have no chance to survive. He will rip my head off. By myself.
If we're gonna do this, which I'm assuming everyone's on board for helping...
If you're not, speak now.
If we're gonna go against him, we need all of us.
Acer, please, I'm sorry to put you through this, but my life is on the line.
Maybe you can help us from afar somehow?
Yeah, okay. I'm doing it for you two, and gotta be honest, I'm kind of liking you a little bit. Not in that way, more in a friendly way.
Well, I'll say this, don't count yourself short. I don't see too many people that can fall out of a speeding van and jump right back into it, so you're more durable than you look.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to explain that later, but for now, let's just get home so we can gear up. And also, when I did fall out of that van, I went cuckoo bananas. Can anyone tell me what exactly is going on? Could you...
I think I can explain that.
Cool.
Hey, sir.
You can explain on the way, and from now on, your page. Let's go.
Oh.
Paige just starts walking.
She just slowly turns to look at you as, Paige?
I don't...
Why did
Chris,
he give
what?
you some bimbo name?
He has a thing with nicknames, although I don't really get that one.
I feel left out. He hasn't really given me one. Is that normal?
Oh, no, he gave you a nickname.
What?
Yeah, no, I mean, like, it's not bad. It's just, he didn't really pay attention to face.
Oh. Okay.
Hey, sir, what was his nickname again?
He's Titan! Yeah, I'm already, down the street.
Titan, don't ask me why. I don't know.
Titan?
At least mine means sense.
Oh, God. I mean, I suppose it doesn't sound too bad. Not very academic, though.
I have another problem, though.
Yes.
Nicole's gonna
As I give you the quick up down, like,
There's a heavy, heavy burn mark to her on her left shoulder. Her dress is in ruin, covered in ash, burnt, and gore.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Some of the fabric's kind of torn off from the side a little bit.
Yeah, but she's gonna kill me. So, if you could just cover me when we go in,
Sure,
I can
sure.
one at the back entrance. Yeah, that'd be great.
I'll give you my coat when we get back.
That makes look more suspicious, but thank you. Well, I mean, let's go plan this out.
Oh, I'm still allowed to stay with you all?
Do you have anywhere else to go?
I actually have quite a few hotel contacts. It's not my first time that I've been around Seattle. I have a few contacts that I could stay at, but I would feel safer not being on my own.
No, you're not.
I agree.
Sorry, Grayson. Sorry.
I'm with you on this one. There's only so much you can do from a hotel room.
Thank you. Again, I'm sorry for what I'm putting you all through. I know what I'm asking for is a lot.
Oh, trust me. I have already stuck my neck out enough tonight, so I'm used to the feeling.
She puts a very gentle hand on your shoulder as she begins walking into the street, following quite a distance away Acer.
Oh yeah, I'm still walking. I didn't wait for anybody.
No, we're still walking and talking, but
Walking and talking.
yeah, we're walking and talking. He's just way up there.
So, is there anything you guys specifically wish to talk about on your way home? And furthermore, how do you all get home? As
Oh shit!
a memory comes to your mind, the van blew up.
Yeah, man.
Shit. Should we just take the bus, or do we have anybody to call? Wait, Acer, do you still have Bertold's phone?
No, I gave it back.
I'm gonna take a look around. Is there any of those like the van taxis that have like the just a little bit more room, just space?
The party
to
bus?
people away. The party
What?
bus, basically.
Looking around at this time of night, it is definitely bar night. So you do see buses going to and from. You do see the occasional odd taxi that comes around. In the day of Uber and Lyft, it's very weird to find a taxi or anything like that nowadays. But you do on occasion see very large bus-like vans with a lot of flashing lights. One has like a pole inside it as it kind of drives by.
We have our choices of transportation, and honestly, I don't think we should walk.
Yeah, it's got an intricate bus system for a reason. I specifically remember there's a bus stop right in front of your place.
There is bus stops. There are subways. You can always call a ride. As we know, your phone is dead, Grayson.
Yeah,
so-
my phone's
His phone's dead.
So
We have no
looks
way.
like walking, the bus, or subway is your best options.
Wait, do we have anybody that we could call? Do we have Rudy works the day shift, right?
I believe none of you have access to a phone.
No, I didn't ask that. If we did have a phone, would we be able to call somebody?
I don't know if I like the way you said that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of freaking me out.
You guys, just answer the question.
I don't like how she went. That's not what I asked. I'm like, what?
Do you remember a phone number or anybody? It's not
I
medical.
I have the numbers of my staff there. Yes, of course I do.
But do you have them? Do you know them off the top of your head?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it's either borrow a phone, or we could just take. I mean, there's the bus. We could sit at the back, away from, or a taxi. There's plenty of those going around right now too.
Oh, Grayson, you're killing me.
Party vans going around.
Grayson, you get the sense as you're kind of going off on this that she's giving you this look. People are just actively walking around her. And as in, they would rather walk in the street of busy traffic than walk by her.
All right, going up to one of them, Shadow Cloak. I need your phone.
You just see a kid that's coming by on a skateboard and be like, stop, what the fuck? No, fuck off, lady.
I need your phone.
No, I'm going now.
I'm going. Yes.
You're going to try to snatch his phone?
Yes.
He is mortal. It's gone. Fucking bitch! He picks up his skateboard. Give up my fucking. Okay, well you dominate.
Yes, that ever happened. And then walk away.
You guys watch as Crescent just begins just holding onto a phone that immediately goes static in her hands as she begins walking away. The skateboarding guy just kind of sitting there going, "Oh, that's weird." Hops on the skateboard, just begins taking off. You actually hear a few boats. Fuck happened to my phone?
Putting it in Acer's hand. Oh wait, Acer's way up there. Okay, Grayson, you first.
No, I saw all of that happening, so I'm walking back. Like Jesus.
Again, making sure we're.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I'll put it in Acer's hand. Acer, call somebody.
There was literally like 10,000 other ways you could have done that.
I did it my way. What's the problem?
I suppose kids lose their phone all the time.
They really do.
Actually, you know what?
Acer, stop and look at the phone, please. Can you just make a phone call? I'll step away.
Acer, you did, dicks.
Thank you, Acer.
Go ahead and start typing them.
It's a little glitchy as Sierra sighs and also steps away before it clears back up.
Forgot your that. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to call. We're gonna call Blade.
Yeah.
Call Jackson.
Jackson. I'm gonna call Jackson.
It rings a few times. East Side Second Chance Facility. How can we offer you a second chance?
Yo, what up, Blade? You know who this is.
You motherfucker. I like the name, but fuck you.
Come on, he's a badass. You're a badass. It fits.
I don't
Just ask.
All right. So, our car blew up. We need a ride.
Oh, whoa, what?
There was a gas leak. We'll have.
Are you all okay? Your car blew up. What?
Oh yeah, it's all over the place. It's in pieces. We're gonna need a ride.
For fuck's sake. Well, are you guys okay? Is everyone alive?
Oh no, yeah, we're fine. We all got out of the car. We closed the door, and then as we were walking to our destination, just boom, no car.
I'm just gonna turn to Sierra. I want to say that he's not always like this, but he's always like this.
Lord help me, have mercy. Okay, yeah, I'll get Rudy to come pick you guys up. Where the fuck are you guys?
Oh, dope. We are at, and I'm gonna kind of just look at the street sign to see if I can
third.
get.
Are they unicorn bars over down here?
Tell him to meet us over at the Unicorn Bar.
No, we're not actually gonna go there.
We're not going there? No, okay, just meet us.
Get your fucking story straight, man. Where the fuck am I sending your ride?
Everyone's being very confusing. Just send it at the corner of Main and 3rd.
Got it. Rudy should be there in probably about a half an hour. Stay fucking drunk.
Thanks, Blade. Love you, boy.
He hangs up.
All right, Rudy's coming to get us.
There are some details that sometimes you just don't spout out, Acer.
Yeah, that was.
Right. So how would you have explained what happened to our car?
Sometimes simplicity is best. We need a ride. That's it. No more. No less.
We're done with the phone, right?
Yeah. Why?
Can't they track that shit? Like if he's got the app thing?
Yeah, but he's a skateboarder, and I just kind of pop open the back and pull out the SIM card.
H, could you do me a favor?
Yeah, what's up?
Make sure that number is not on there, please. I don't need more crank calls.
Good point. Throw it back in, delete the number, then take the SIM card out, and then go through his texts.
This kid has apparently a girlfriend, and there's a lot of texts.
Oh.
I'm just gonna scroll through them. If something interesting happens, cool.
I don't need to spell out how many interesting things you find in that conversation.
Very well. Out of curiosity, any pictures?
Do I have to say blatantly yes?
Okay. So at that point, I'm just going to be like, we should really give this phone back to him.
He's already halfway down the street.
He's gone.
That's okay. I'll look through his phone and see if I can find a mailing address.
You're that desperate to give him his phone back?
I like people.
Why?
Why don't you?
Sarah, so kind of just looked like he actually makes a good point.
I was about to say they smell funny, but they don't.
I mean, some of them actually shower.
Some of them.
Skateboard kid didn't. Smelled like teenage angst.
Look,
And
case
Red
in
Bull.
point.
They all smell like teenage angst.
With
Case
Red
in
Bull.
point, I just don't want to be the guy that made these two break up because this one didn't answer his phone.
Oh, then I guess you better keep texting the girlfriend.
Don't.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that.
They're no
Not.
fun.
Sarah just takes a very long sigh. This is the longest night of my fucking existence.
Yeah, me too.
Oh no, trust me. This one over here, as I point to Crescent, this is why I couldn't let her have a phone for too long.
Wait, are you talking about like before?
Do you
Talking about now.
remember the phone bills?
Okay, I wasn't that bad with the phone bills, all right? You had the one landline phone. Your center wasn't as big and fancy as it is now.
Yes, now we try to...
I feel like I've opened up a wound that I shouldn't have.
Yeah, there was a lot of wounds with this one.
I'm still going through other texts.
You see some very, very angry messages sent to his family, mainly his mom and dad. Get the sense he's a young kid, probably took off from home and still doesn't come home. Going through at the very bottom, though, you do see a text message that with the last few responses saying specifically, "Don't worry, boss, I'll take care of it." Response, "Meet you at the shipping yard." Bottom line, couldn't make it. Something came up. Last one response, "Don't worry about it." That's it.
Shipping yard, huh?
You find
Maybe
something
I'll keep-
interesting?
Just another clue. Had a run-in with the shipping yard. Something weird happened there. Didn't exactly like it. Wanted to see if I could put a stop to it. Don't have anything to go on, except now I do, so I might keep the phone a little bit more.
All right. Well, 1 second he wants to get rid of the phone, and then he wants to give it back, and now he wants to keep it.
Yeah, well, when you find human smugglers, you tend to want to stop those kinds of things.
I'm sorry, one moment.
Wait,
because
what?
I thought you just said the words that just quietly. Human smugglers?
Yeah, right, I forgot. I didn't tell you guys of this escapade.
Great, I'm going to stop you right there. We're going to take a break from that conversation. We're definitely...
Well, why? We got 30 minutes. I mean, this sounds good.
We also are out in public, and I'm not trying to start a new mafia out here.
Half of these people believe that Bigfoot still exists, which he might, but I
I
don't
mean,
know.
he might. You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
I mean... Storyteller, would I, with my powers, would I have ever seen a ghost that sense the
You
unseen?
have. Shortly after you discovered the ability to sense the unseen, you actually did and try walk through a Seattle graveyard, and there were many ghosts. They exist.
You're like Nelly G, like, oh shit.
She says, Bigfoot, I'm like, okay, I've in fact seen specters. They're real, by the way. I don't like going through graveyards for that reason. Much too chatty. Some of them. You want the ones that are chatty, to be honest.
Okay, you know when we first met, I thought you were like a really down-to-earth guy, and now, like, I don't know if it's being kindred or something. I don't know if you should have been Malkavian, but, like, you're getting a little bit screwy.
I take offense to that.
Again, another thing I have to search up because I have no clue what the hell it is.
Malkavians are the crazies. We established this, Azer.
The one that got staked was Malkavian. They're
You tasted crazy.
typically, yes, they're very powerful with the mind and their sixth senses, but they also have they tend to have many mental illnesses. They're the ones that were embraced but had mental illnesses, and those that are embraced by Malkavians develop continued mental illnesses. Anything that was wrong with you becomes accentuated.
Okay, so every clan has a specific little trait. Love that. Which one has the trait where you get very angry, thinking becomes very foggy, and I act like a rabid chihuahua?
Gangrel.
Yeah.
Indeed, Gangrel. They're more bestial in nature.
Thank you for that. Where are their territories?
Green Lake.
Thank you for that.
Why?
I'll let you know later.
Do you need help with something? Do we need to beat somebody up?
Hey, sir, I would just bear you a word of caution if you approach them.
Uh-huh.
Storyteller, would I have any inclination of current relations between that clan and the Camarilla?
Well, right now the Camarilla and the Gangrel are very much simpatico. The problem is that you know that the Baron of Green Lake, being a Gangrel, was the only one that openly went against what the prince was doing at the time of that Elysium. So you can infer that while they are still part of the Camarilla, and there really hasn't been much word about chaos since, you don't necessarily think that they're too happy with the current situation right now. But that's just speculation.
I would say, sir, I'm not saying drop it. I'm saying let's just be wary of that road. As if you remember, they were not so happy about the proceedings of our prince taking his power.
Sierra kind of chimes in, as we still have one very war-hardened Lasombra to deal with. I would not like to add more enemies to that list at this current juncture, at least till maybe after we're done with my problem.
Okay, never mind. Sarah, where do you think that he would have gone? Like, do you have any inclination, like, did you just meet him on this trip? Or do you know anything about, like, his lifestyle or where he might go?
His favorite pastimes?
Yeah, that'd be good.
I don't know where he'd hang out in this city. But if I know Melanchoth, unfortunately I kind of do. His favorite things? Blood and sex.
Got it.
Great.
Whorehouse is cool.
It does narrow down the list.
It does. We look for a brothel?
We look for a brothel.
Yeah, but first we gotta get back to the...
Yes.
Oh yeah, we need to arm ourselves to the teeth before going after that
This
crazy.
is Maine, right?
No offense.
Maine and third.
And I'll say, for the sake of brevity, you all have this conversation, as Rudy does, eventually pull up in the company car. It's a bit of a wider van used to transport patients from usually the airport to the facility. Those Dr. Phil-esque types, so to speak. You all pile in. Rudy does comment that you all look like shit, but he's still in an extremely chipper mood, especially after his most recent events. But nonetheless, you all pile into the van. It takes you about a good hour to get through traffic, and you make it on home. Crescent, you do manage to sneak your way in, and just for funsies, go ahead and make a dex and stealth.
Can I
What?
Can I help her by distracting her with a bottle of wine that I'm gonna give to her?
Add a plus one.
Okay. You said Dex and...
Did you keep that bottle with you the whole time?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He's crazy. Did you say stealth and dexterity?
Yeah, stealth and dex plus one.
Also, Acer, might be a good idea to go back to that footage, see if you can, like, face scan his ghouls, see if they hang out anywhere or something. I know you said you could do that.
Right. Well, I'd have to break into the police database in order to do that. I was hoping more just to use that as a last resort, but I have ways around it, don't worry.
3 successes?
3 successes. Let's see if Medico spots you with the wine.
What's that music? Amazing.
Oh, I'm rolling like shit tonight. Medico is extremely enthralled with Acer's gift, and the two of you spend a lovely amount of time, Acer, in your lab, which we can discuss further at a later point if you wish. But you do share the wine, share stories, and have a good time bonding, which we can elaborate further later if you wish.
Yeah.
But it does allow Crescent to slip in unnoticed. Everyone manages to finish up their evening's business and turn on in. And as all of you bed down for the morning, you all survive another night. Sierra is safe.
Can I do one thing?
Of course.
Just as the last bit, as I go back to my office and I sit down in the chair, I turn over to my computer and I go on to Amazon, and I'm going to order a very nice notebook and a set of pens before I go to bed.
That's cute.
Oh, my heart.
I will make a note.
Thank you. That is all.
And with this small gesture to humanity to leave us off with, you all bed down as the evening draws to a close, aching, sore, and another long night survived. And that is where we'll close our vampire story for now. For as the dawn arises and Seattle awakens on a very stormy, cloudy, mist-filled morning, you all go about your business, going to work, talking to your friends and family, having breakfast, going about your mundane lives, unknowingly that beneath the surface of it all, darkness is around every corner. Good night, everyone. Thank you all for joining us.
Good night, everyone.
Sweet.